sports and cultural podcast in the world. Hashtag SNN, hitting you with the most current world trending topics, giving you the most accurate sports reporting and analysts in the world. Let's go, fellas. Talk your shit. Yo. Back in the building, man. Back in the building.
We got some special guests in the building tonight. Number one, Jon Jon Phenomenon, 6X president, CEO, creator.
Something like.
And Coach Makos, linebacker coach extraordinaire.
Southside legend.
Yo.
Who got the credentials.
Southside heavy.
Try to clean us down.
Yo, so tonight's episode is going to be a little different than what everyone's used to. It's going to hit some topics today that went viral in the Valley. High school sports, recruiting, coaches not doing their job, or
doing their job,
and parents not being grateful.
Right.
Yeah. So first off, we will just want to congratulate some of our youth coaches here and organizations that competed in Florida for nationals. First off, the Academy 6U came in second place in nationals. Congratulations, fellas. And then we got the We Different 8U girls winning nationals.
Shout out to the girls. Yo,
I ain't gonna lie, the girls is lit.
Yeah, they balling.
Girls,
they hype too.
I'm not even gonna say we different. She different.
Yeah. She different.
Shout out.
Yep, facts. We got the We Different 7U boys winning it all.
This is gonna be a common theme, huh?
Yep. We got the 10U boys, We Different. And last but not least, we got the 12U boys also bringing in gold.
Shout out to all them, man. Shout out to all them.
That's big.
That 12, you look a lot of 6X-ish.
Nah, I'm not gonna steal their shine, man. That's different right now.
Nah, definitely.
Those are my dogs, though. Those are my dogs.
Justin doing a good thing over there, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Yusef still continue to keep the boat going over there.
Shout out Seth, too, man.
Right. They got the flag, both of them got the flag shit locked down. I mean,
they retired me from that shit, man.
They doing some big shit. So, I mean, tonight, man, we talking local sports, high school sports, recruiting, or if some will say the lack thereof recruiting.
AKA spicy talk.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Again, it's all honesty. It's no hate. It's all honesty. It's obvious it's a topic of a conversation throughout the entire Valley amongst coaches circle, parent circle, kids circles, but we're not here for the kids. We talking about straight adults acting the hell up, egos, misperceptions, anything like that.
And just for a full disclaimer,
it's only entertainment.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
But first off, shout out to the kids, though. Because
these
dudes is putting in work.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Whether they go Division I, Division II, Division III, they putting in work.
Right.
Facts.
So it's not to discredit any of those guys that we're talking about or any of those coaches that we're talking about. Everybody's putting in work.
It's 12 months a year. Kids work multiple sports. They don't work. Nobody works harder.
And in the classroom.
Facts. So, Sly, you're going to start off of reading the what sparked the controversy at first.
I just went live, man.
Okay.
Can I get off of it? Somebody else gotta read it.
I'll read it.
I think.
All right.
I don't think I could. Right? I don't think I could get off of it.
Hold on, I'm gonna give you my joint. Hold on.
You want? I sent. Okay, yeah.
Oh.
He sent him the text.
All right. This is what sparked it. This is what sparked the conversation, the debate, the back and forth, the good dialogue. All right. From one Nolan Burlew, okay? He's the father of Nolan, just Nolan, all right? He's coach of OTG, track coach, okay? Thinking about football recruiting out of District 11. We have sent 2 skilled players in the last 8 years to Power 5 schools. Both went to the league in the first round. We haven't sent any other kids to significant FBS programs. We send a few kids to FCS schools, but most kids end up in D2 or D3 programs. For the most part, our school districts just shuffle the same coaches around and nothing changes. Meanwhile, 2 young kids left the area and got FBS scholarship offers. So I don't think it's the athletes. For an area that claims to love football on Friday night lights, we aren't doing enough to help these kids play on Saturdays. All right, so that's the post. That's the gist of some arguments, some back and forth, some differences.
They got crazy on that.
I mean, it's not even that one. It's the one I posted today about the Southern Lehigh kid. Shout out to him.
Yep.
That got an offer,
DJ
and
Kelly.
that went a little crazy. That went a little crazy with comments. Said, everybody, I don't even call it crazy. There was one back and forth. But,
No, it was good
there was a lot of dialogue, right?
We had guys pulling up max prep stats.
That was funny.
That's when it got spicy.
Let me put this up there, but that was funny as hell, yo. But hey, y'all chime in. Tell me what y'all think. I'm on live right now. Let me set this phone up here. Like, what y'all think? Like, y'all a little bit more deep into it, what I am. So, Germ,
You can go first.
The number one thing I always see is people always blaming the coaches. You got to ask yourself as a parent, what are you doing to help your kid get the best exposure? Are you getting in the car and taking your kid to these camps? Last I checked, high school coaches got to run a program. A lot of times up to 75 kids.
I checked.
And it's not really their responsibility to be traveling up and down the coast with one or two kids.
Especially if you're running a successful program.
Correct.
You got to do so much more than just worry about two kids, right? You got to
Correct.
run a whole weightlifting program.
Yep.
You got to have, make sure grades are good.
Study halls.
Prepping for the season, depth chart, stuff like there's so much more that goes into it.
We're also in the 2024 now, and the mental aspect is a major part of this now.
Yeah.
You always got to check on the kids mentally.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
first time I ever experienced a kid not coming to practice, and they had an excused mental health day. And back in our day, when we missed school, like it was either you were sick, like really sick,
Yep.
or if not, we were in practice. We would have never had that. And I get it. Mental health is very important for these kids, but that's the first time I've ever experienced that.
I mean, I thought about it earlier, and what I would say is the problem that's going on nowadays is the fact that all these kids have handlers. I'm going to keep it 100. All these kids have handlers, and the kids who are looking up to these handlers aren't necessarily dealing with people who are in a network with the coaches, with the guidance counselors, with anything. Like, these guys who are vouching for these kids and taking them to stuff in the off season aren't even talking to the high school coaches, bro. So you have to have a plan in the recruiting. So if I got Johnny, right, and my plan is to get him to a Power 5 school. First of all, you have to be realistic and think he has the talent to get to that school. Genetics, a lot of that stuff goes with it. But also, if I'm his, for not to call no names, but for instance, if I'm his 7-on-7 coach, or if I'm his trainer, if anything, I have to be in tune with this high school coach, even this position coach at high school, so we have the same goal.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? A lot of times is, instead of them calling his high school coach and be like, yo, what does he need me to do for us to make him get to where he needs to get to, we badmouth him, or we say he's not doing this, or he's not doing that.
Yep.
And like we say, as a village, you have to have a plan with 3 or 4 or 5, whatever, parents, handlers, coaches, assistant coaches, trainers, whatever, to have that same goal in order for him to get to where he's at. You know what I mean? I feel like instead of us going against each other, we should work together. You know what I mean? And it doesn't happen nowadays. You know what I mean? A lot of these dudes go to the games, and instead of them talking to the coaches and be like, yo, he didn't do this well, how do we get him to be able to do it well? We go on Facebook or we go online and say, oh, this coach sucks, they didn't teach him this. You know what I mean? Yep. It can't happen, because that's going against the grain rather than going with the grain.
Right. You know I mean, that seems the majority of the feedback was, don't call out the whole valley. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't not the entire valley, is letting these kids down and got to do more and stuff like that. And my thing was, what's wrong with a D2 and a D3 school? He said that you sprinkle in a couple FCS schools, as if like that's not even good enough. You know what I mean? So I know everyone knows getting to college is the goal. But it's like, are we really going to shit on the Valley because we not sending kids to Alabama and Georgia? Like, you know?
And the Alabama and Georgia, like,
I'm just
talent
being
is
extreme,
different.
but I'm just saying.
I'm going to keep it 100.
You know?
Do you know how hard it is to get to one of these schools, bro?
And especially with the transfer portal.
What?
Like that's where I was going to go. You know, it's not a bad thing these days going D3. Say you're a stud, you go D3, freshman year. Muhlenberg has one right now. Muhlenberg College over here. They have a lineman. He's about 6'5". He's getting Power 5 looks. He's going to go in the portal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go to a D3 school, dominate, transfer up.
Yeah.
It's not like when we played, you went to a school and that
You
was
were
it,
there.
or
It's like-
you had to sit out. You don't have to sit out no more. And I just don't get the obsession because with the transfer portal, you're going to run into a lot of issues now. Like I was saying earlier, like they want a kid that's established out of a college that's in the portal before they take little Johnny that's 17 or 18 and needs 40 pounds or he's not quite where he needs to be. They're going to take that kid that was a D3, say, doesn't matter where. But if that kid had 35 catches for so many yards, they're going to take that kid over the kid that had 70 catches in high school and maybe runs a 4.8 or, you know what I mean?
Right.
The thing is now is these coaches aren't taking risks.
Nope.
They're not going to take a risk on their job to get a kid out of high school who hasn't proven anything. When I can get so-and-so who just left Georgia and wants to go play with my school, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's the guy that I'm going to take. Honestly.
Right.
And
100%.
can you really blame the kids these days with the NIL? I mean, how many years we've grew up playing sports where they made money off the players.
Right,
Now
right.
the players are making money.
They're going to get a check.
And
They're going to get a check.
You can't blame, like, at the end of the day, you should be pushing the kids to where they're going to be set in life.
I'm going to keep it real, though. They've been giving kids checks for a while.
Oh.
Now the difference is they don't got to hide.
Now it's legal.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I know for a fact that I've seen kids basketball-wise who've been given duffel bags with $100,000.
I mean, look at LeBron.
You know what I mean? Yeah, look at LeBron.
S&M, we're live. I know people got some questions.
I mean, shout out to OTG, man. Rashad, ain't no obsession. The Valley recycles coaches. To recruit a kid, you need connections who are new bloods in the coaching game. Why aren't kids who go to college come back and coach their connections to get kids out?
I agree.
There's part of that.
Rashad, you got Shaw's number? You want to check in?
Yo, Rashad, we're giving you a call right now, son. Let's see what he's
He
doing.
said, y'all ain't got the right people in the room. This is a one-sided argument.
But it's not, though.
Nah, talk about the high school stats.
Rashad's... What the hell's going on?
Yo, Rashad, send your number, fam. Guys get a job with no credentials, legit motherfuckers who don't have no connections other than Little League chips. That's what that's it right there, you know?
Nah, he's right, though. I said this the other day. I was like, listen, like Liberty, for example.
But that's so... So, all right, youth coaches with youth chips, that don't fall to every category of every school.
Right.
So that's, point the school out that has that versus, the other schools that have great coaches. And obviously the coaches in the Valley been here for a while, but there's some good coaches in the Valley.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I agree with the recycled because it's definitely, we see it.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and I basically said, like look at Liberty, for example. And we're going to use old guys. I'm not going to say nobody new, but there's no reason why, like, a Dan Persa, Anthony Gonzalez, Levi, all those guys don't come back for, like, a weekend and have, like, a camp with all these kids so they can see, like, listen, these guys did it. These guys been through the blueprint. These guys went to the highest of the highest.
Right.
And it gives the kids hope that I can follow these guys' lead. I don't never see these dudes come back. I'm not saying that they don't want to. I just feel like somebody has to spearhead it. You know what I mean? Like, I talk to my cousin all the time. He's like, I'll come back and do it. He was like, but they don't really show me no love. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason why Dan Persa's jersey is not hung in the rafters in Liberty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no reason why Darren's jersey should be.
Or Tim Monsman's not in Freedom or Liberty's Hall of Fame.
Right. You know what I mean? So it's like it starts with the high school as far as creating that culture of
Yes.
kids, of past alumni who've done it coming back. Because I feel like at Liberty now, it's so out of touch where they don't know anybody that made it big. Because it's,
I mean, it seems like that's what Shy wants. Shy wants some new blood, shake shit up in here. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same old. It's 2024. It seems like that's what Shy, even Nolan's, some of the part of their argument is. Shake shit up. Who's the new coaches coming up? Why we got to play by these old rules? Shit like that. You know, I think that's their argument. Yeah. You know, that's their argument. Why we got to play by these rules? Why are these coaches in the Valley, you know, playing buddy, hiring their friends and everything like that? So I think that's what he's trying to get at. You know, and then you know, the younger guys and shit like that. I guess you feeling some people are getting handed jobs and shit like that, but people got to start from somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
You got to start from somewhere.
I agree with what John was saying because being over there last year, I do understand that there is a lot of alumni that don't feel comfortable.
They don't.
Coming back to where they're from.
They don't.
It's not like, do you feel comfortable going back there? No, you don't. No love is shown. Patriarchs of the program, you know what I mean?
Hold on. Sip wanted to get on the line.
All right.
So we're going to get Eddie on the line. Yo. Mississippi, yo.
What up?
You live. Full in effect.
Wow.
I get a job with no credentials.
Hello?
I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear
Yo, come on.
Yeah.
Yo, you got reception over there in the West Coast, B?
Sip over there.
We'll get another guest, man. We'll get another guest, nigga.
Over here chefing up some salmon right now.
No, you're going to call the S&M podcast. We need your full, undivided attention. Don't call while you cooking.
Nigga, I ain't called. Y'all called me up in there. What up?
You called or you called him, Chris?
I called him. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so Sip, you've been seeing what's been going on, and you've been involved with high school sports here in the Valley, and there in California.
This nigga, he been gone for a while, dog.
But speak your truth about the recruiting process, right? A lot of people are saying get new coaches. These coaches have no connects. Is it all on the coaches?
I don't think, personally, it's not all on the coaches. I got two nephews right now out here. One plays at the University of Nevada. One plays at the University of Arizona. They both committed to Arizona, and they both was there. One transferred over to Nevada. They went to camps. One, my lineman, he was a 3-star athlete. He was going down south, and he was buddying up with Mater Dei, St. John Bosco, schools like that every Saturday. And then he would go to prospect camps. He got one big offer from Utah. And once Utah offered, because they won the Pac-12, I think it was North or South. Once he got that one big offer, it was like, man, we got this dude from Lompoc. Utah offered him. Now every school in the Pac-12 besides Stanford and UCLA made an offer. And then he got other Power 5 offers off of that.
Network.
So it all came from campus. And I mean, we had to get him out there. And now with the high school coaches pushing out, it's not really connection. A lot of high school coaches don't have connections like that. And that's just facts. I mean, coaches come in, they build connection like that. But a lot of high school coaches can't call and say, I got this kid and I got that kid. Because then if they fail, a college coach is like, I'm not going to them no more. Mm-hmm. Like he told me this dude was a D1 prospect and he should be playing fucking ball at Northampton Community College. So a lot of people say, oh, the high school coaches need to put out. No, they don't. You got, as a parent, you got to get your kid out there for the exposure. And if you're not going to get him out there, how's the high school coach going to have another recruiter or a college coach come in and look at him? Because everybody's putting up numbers, right? So I'm a kid at Liberty and I'm putting up numbers. The next person at Parkland, so how are you going to say, come and look at me? One game. I don't do well. And they're like, why did I waste my time on this dude? Right? They want to see you in person. That's my take. A lot of people are like, oh, like that. No, a high school coach that's not his job. His job is to prepare you to play at the next level, not to push out or do your recruiting for you. Social media, like back in the day, maybe, but now social media.
Go ahead, Ed.
Right, you know what I mean? I feel like
With social media, the huddle, the Twitter, kids and parents got to do their own recruiting now. And that's why you got to watch what you put on that type of stuff because coaches are looking at that. You know what I mean?
facts.
What's up, Tony?
He got his headphones off.
Nah, I ain't say nothing. I don't think no one heard you the whole time you was talking on the live.
Nah, they saying they can hear.
Oh, they can hear Eddie?
Yeah, I think it's just the one person can't hear. He got to turn his headphones up.
They hear Eddie.
Yeah, they're all saying they can hear him.
Oh, okay, my bad.
But yeah, Sib, I agree with you, bro. You know what I mean? From doing this for a while, I mean, I can attest, and Rashad pointed out earlier on the Facebook, is like we did a lot of work with certain kids trying to get them to where they need to be, bro. I remember being on the road and going to West Virginia for a camp or Jersey Top 100 or Vegas. We was all over the place, you know what I mean? None of the high school coaches really played a part in it, you know what I mean? Now, I was telling Jerm earlier, I was like, if you look at like some of those big dog schools, like the Don Bosco Preps and all those guys, they have a recruiting coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time is those dudes are annually getting that talent that they have to have a coach. There's not really schools out here who consistently produce Power 5 kids every year. You know what I mean? So
Like a St. Joe's
the
prep.
need wasn't really necessary to have a coach that's responsible just for getting kids to school. Not saying it shouldn't happen, but it's different than comparing a Liberty to like a St. Joe's Prep or something like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So let's look at this. Like Teddy posted earlier, and I always say this: Devin had 13 catches, bro.
Right.
13 catches. He went to camps. He got all of his offers off of going to camp. Now, if that's not going to tell you something, then I don't know what else is. It's not a high school coach's job. I coach high school. I've been in the high school game coaching high school for over 15 years now. Not once did I see a high school coach. I mean, I can't say not once, but it's not his job to say, call another recruiter. Like, you're going to get looked at by putting your own self out there. Now, if a kid goes to him and say, can you send my highlight tape to these schools, he might do that and get in contact. That's what he would do. But he's not calling recruiters. You got to make your own stuff.
Right.
Can you send my highlight tape?
I'm pretty sure Rashad's been on that the entire time.
Right.
Rashad and Nolan been on the camps the entire time. They've been preaching camps the entire time. So it's like we all agree with certain shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just the little bit that we don't, you know what I mean, that there's little differences on. So they've been shouting out camps. They take their kids to the camps. They all up and down the coast, you know what I'm saying? So they do that.
Ed,
But maybe does the Lehigh Valley need to promote that more? Like he's saying, like Los had said. You know what I'm saying? If someone, I feel like as if someone might know a camp and they might hold that for just their kids type shit. Like they'll just hold on to that. They won't make it public. You know, they just going to take their peoples down there and that's it. You know, make it public so, you know,
That's
maybe not no one's with their organization or whatever. They just want to go down there.
That's where you got to do your due
But I know
diligence
some
as
of
a
those
parent.
are probably like invite only or whatever. But
I mean, I can attest to that. I know there's a couple high school coaches that send their guys certain places. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Like, my thing is, too, like, though, Sib, you can answer this question. Like, I got a two-part question to ask. Do you think there's a disconnect with the fact of the guys who are willing to take these kids to camps don't necessarily go back to the high school coaches with the feedback of how it's going, or like kind of like, okay, coach, I took so-and-so, your wide receiver number 1 to the camp. This is what he did. Maybe you should tune in and pay attention so when the college coach comes to talk to you, you know what he did and what he's capable of.
I think there's a lot of disconnect right there. One reason is because the person that's taking to the camp wants all the credit.
I agree.
And I know a couple of people that have been taking people to camps, and they post like it's like they're the ones that's getting these kids a scholarship. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So
And then,
instead of reaching back to the high school coach, where the high school coach can reach out to those coaches, send transcripts, which these people that are taking the camps can't do, right? And talk to them, because they're going to talk to a high school coach and then a 7-on-7 coach.
and I think my second part of the question is, do you think that these coaches are receptive to listening to those guys? Because like I said,
A lot of them are,
I know.
but
Go ahead.
But John, a lot of these dudes that are doing it got a bad name for themselves. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't have a bad name for yourself and expect someone else to respect you. That's my whole take.
I feel you. Facts, JP. I seen your comment. You right.
Eddie.
Like, your name got a whole weight. Like, if you're out in the streets and you're doing bad, or you're getting kicked out of games or shit like that, they're not going to listen to you, man. Like, come on, we got to do better for the youth.
Can you hear me?
Your name got a whole...
Sip, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Sip, what the other thing a lot of people don't know about how has Huddle has changed the game.
Yes.
The kids got to stay up on their film. And
Twitter.
I ran into that recently this year with a few of the kids. You know, they got to be updating that after every game. And, you know, a lot of kids aren't. They're just going home, and they're not updating their Twitter. They're not uploading their film. And that's not the coach's responsibility. Is it
Not
the
at
coach's
all.
responsibility to ask them, are they doing it? Yeah, of course.
We're answering you.
But they're not going to do that every week.
Yeah.
Naeem, you right. Twitter is the wave, bro.
Yes. Yes.
Wait, right? Imagine if we would have had it. And a lot of the kids that do update it
We talked about that earlier.
don't know what they're posting or like what they're updating, like or how to make a highlight video.
I feel like some of these kids need a marketing class to be able to market themselves a little better too. You know what I mean? I utilize
Yes.
the Twitters, the Instagrams, instead of them going on there and throwing up the latest Meek Mill song and throwing up those stupid gang signs and with they team, man, throw up something productive. You feel me?
Yep, that's what I'm saying. They gotta know how to put that stuff on there, like putting that type of music on there or putting stupid shit on there. College coaches look at that and they're like, "Nah, I don't want this kid in my program."
Yep, they said I went to a coach's clinic in Penn State, and the running back coach said they don't want no music, and they want from the beginning of the play to the end of the play. They don't want to just see you run for 30 yards and then it cuts off and goes to another play, because who knows, at the end of that 30, did you fumble it? Did you break a tackle? Did you score? What did you do?
And I think now what needs to happen too is, just going off some of the comments on the chat, is that what a coach does need to do, honestly, is recognize if this kid has talent but doesn't have a parent that can do what needs to be done, then maybe you need to step in or figure out some kind of alternative way to help that kid out. But the talent has to be there. You can't think that these coaches are going to do it for all 60. But if there's that one gem, you know what I mean, that kind of has a future that you can kind of invest into, you invest into them, you know what I mean? But like a lot of people are saying that these guys don't have like a mom or dad that's willing to do the camps or willing to do the legwork on social media. Well, then that's a conversation that needs to be had. That means you, as a high school coach, you got to be in tune with your player to know what he needs.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I know personally from being a coach and being on the staff at Parkland, Coach Monsman and they send a form out on Huddle to every underclassman. If you have interest in playing college football, fill this questionnaire out. GPAs, what majors, what type of school do you want to go to, position-wise, stuff like that. So we do that. And if you are good enough, obviously, coach is going to make that call. Or if a recruiter comes in the building, they go, hey, I got this guy for this position. But, there's a lot that just goes to it. People think, oh, my kid's going D1, but you don't have shit. You have shit grades. How are you going to go to D1 school and have shit grades?
Man, the problem is these dudes saying kids is going D1 at 8 and don't understand the blueprint.
You don't grow.
Grind.
You didn't grow.
So
like you said, it's genetics. Genetics has a lot to do with it too.
I always say this, man, like the same effort we put to put these stupid ass videos and all this shit online, let's come together and do a class that talks about SATs and all the stuff that these kids need to really do when it comes to get to the next level. You know what I mean?
But yo, Sip, brother, we appreciate you. We're going to go to the next caller. Be good. Give baby girl a hug. And I'll call you tomorrow.
Easy, Sip.
Don't burn the salmon.
I love you guys.
I love you too, brother.
All right, bro.
Peace. All right, so we're going to get Mr. Controversy himself, Nolan, on the line.
Oh, I thought we can wait a little bit for him, man. We got to set it up for him first.
We
wanted to go.
Never mind. Chris jumping.
Listen, the press told me to hit the button. I hit the button.
What else we got to set up for him?
Bad wants to get on it too on the three-way.
There
we go.
No, I don't think we're doing that.
Now let them speak. Try to blackball my man.
Oh man, you nice. You letting it go all the way to the voicemail.
Nolan, we see you on the chat, bro. We know you on your phone.
Oh, he's probably on live.
Hello, you reached Nolan Burley. I'm unable to answer your call.
Leave him a voicemail.
Please leave a message and I'll get back.
Oh man, Nolan, what's going on?
Who's next, Chris? We're going to come back to Nolan.
What you always trying to set up, though? There's no chance to set up.
Let's talk about he. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
What he did bring up a good point about the old thing about if you're good, they'll find you.
Right.
There is a lot of truth to that, and there is a lot
Nolan's
of.
calling back.
Go ahead, take his call.
Yo. Hold on. Hello?
It's late.
Yo. Nolan.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yes, sir. You're live.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Welcome.
Yo. Welcome to the S&M podcast, Nolan. One of our first guests. You should feel honored, baby.
What's going on, guys?
Mr. Controversy himself.
I was bored today.
So listen, we were. Have you been watching the live? Did you hear we were just going off of your first post about the District 11 and the recycled coaches. So
talk your shit, Nolan. Man.
Yeah, we want to give you the floor to see what you got to say.
Get it off your chest. Everything's good. Talk your shit.
Listen,
it's all good.
Yeah. So, how do I say this? I'm not just sitting in the valley going, "Oh, we're not getting kids." Like I'm traveling. Like I take marquees everywhere. We're going out to West Virginia. We've been out to Tennessee, Texas, Florida. You name it, we've been there. We've been out to Oregon at camps. I sit there and I watch these kids that are 4 or 5, 3 stars, whatever. We have kids better than that in this valley. I see it every day. Not every day, but when I'm taking these trips, these kids aren't getting the exposure they deserve.
So that's basically your main point. In less words, the valley's not getting enough exposure. Basically.
Yeah.
Fuck all the other shit to the side. So it's about exposure.
It's about exposure. And what I see from these kids and what they tell me or what their coaches tell me is it's not just the parents. It's not just the kids. It's their high school coaches are going out there and making connections. And honestly, what I see Chris doing is awesome. Chris went out to a Penn State camp, but he's one of the only coaches I know that's going out to college camps and trying to make those connections. It's not happening as much as people want to believe.
Drop that bomb, Chris.
So,
shout out to Chris.
Thank you, Nolan.
Lead ass bomb.
Yeah. So a guy like Chris that's doing it, big ups to him. And he's calling out when there's good players on other teams. I don't see that happening. That other guys are calling guys out. We got guys like, and like I said, I'm not just about my son. Shakri Colwell at Freedom has some of the best body control in hands I've ever seen. No offers, nothing. This kid goes to 7 on 7 and head taps 4 stars on a regular basis. Nothing.
I mean, I get it, but does the 7 on 7 translate to tackle football?
Right.
Like if he's head tapping the 7 on 7, he should be head tapping in tackle too, right? Mm-hmm. And I love Shakri as my man, so I'm not talking about him. Just in general.
But he is. He's doing it on Friday nights too.
Right.
And honestly, you look at a guy like Travis, and just like they said, Devin had 13 catches, but he went to camps. Camps are camps, and you do what you do there. But
7-on-7 is just like camps. Travis Hunter went to Super 7 down in Tampa. And that's where Travis Hunter got found. Number 1 overall recruit 2 years ago. He got found in the 7-on-7, head tapping guys and freaking strapping guys up.
He left that 7-on-7 with offers, right?
Yeah, he left that 7-on-7 with offers.
So this is another thing, though, right? Are local 7-on-7 programs going to the right tournaments? Are the tournaments they're going to have a bunch of college recruiters there? Are they competing against the top national 7-on-7 teams where these kids are getting these big looks?
Right.
That's a question as well. I don't know, and I'm not throwing shade at nobody.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a lover. I support the kids, and if the kids are doing something great, I'm going to support it all the way. But these are questions that we got to ask so we can get the proper answers.
I just want to say, man, everybody doing the 7-on-7 and traveling nonstop with the kids, keep doing what you're doing. I mean, getting those kids out there, you're doing good things.
Right.
That's
all a part of the equation, though. You got to go, that's part of the process.
Yeah. All right, so let me play devil's advocate, though. Okay, so listen. I'm going to keep it 100. So you're saying that Travis Hunter went to this the 7-on-7 tournament, which is probably with all the top dogs, I'm guessing, right?
100%. It's an invite only. There's only 2 of them. There's one in California and there's one in Tampa. But
If now, do you think with this 7-on-7 community being so segregated that these teams can compete down there, or do we need to actually come together and get all these dudes on the same team to be able to compete to go down there and get those looks?
Yes. I think that we need to come together as a community. Like, we're the Lehigh Valley, and everyone says we're small, and we are small. Like, Atlanta has, one team that really travels, and that's Atlanta. Like, Philadelphia has one team that really is playmakers. Like, those teams, other than some, you get bigger down in Florida because, football's kind of a religion down there. But, yeah, we break up our kids. And, you got OTG playing with half of the kids from Jersey. And that's awesome because, Rashad's doing what he can for those kids. And, it's awesome. I love to see what Rashad's doing. I'm coaching at OTG, too. AJ's doing what he's doing. Right. But yeah, if all those kids from the same team, that'd be a better team, obviously.
And shout out to those guys who are doing it. I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody. Anybody anybody takes their time.
Shout out to OTG and Diamond, man. Shout out to Rashad. Shout out to AJ. Right. You guys are doing a lot for the damn kids, underprivileged kids, everything like that.
But is it if we are going to go online and argue with each other about who's not doing what, who's not doing this, is it time for us to come together and put our egos to the side and say, listen, if we're so adamant and we're so passionate about getting these kids looks, somebody got to be a chief, somebody got to be an Indian with the main mindset of getting these kids to where they're supposed to be at, regardless of who did it, who's in charge.
Nolan, maybe you need to be that guy that bridges the gap.
I've tried sometimes. There are people that I've tried to bring together, and we just haven't had a chance at this point yet. But, there are different programs, different people that I've tried to bring together because it just makes sense. You got Coach Parham coaching the linemen over there, and, linemen don't get any love in 7-on-7 because there's no linemen in 7-on-7. But a lot of these 7-on-7 guys are starting to do lineman comps at the 7-on-7 tournament to give the linemen some love.
Right.
So, tying those things together.
Yeah, I just seen that big dude. Y'all see that big dude online? The kid, I think he's from Texas, the 335-pound kid running track. And then he was dominating on those one-on-ones.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Oh, man.
When I was, back in the day, when I took a kid to, I'm not gonna say the names, when I took a kid to, it was Jersey Top 100 camp. This is when they first started doing, the trenches stuff. Mm-hmm. And all them one-on-ones that them wide receivers, and them D-backs do, that shit is whack compared to what these big dudes.
It's real football.
It's real football. It's so competitive, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? Watching these dudes just getting at it, and I feel like that transitions to the regular football game because these dudes was 6'6", 320, right, killing each other, bro.
They do one-on-ones with no pads. Right. It's real football with no pads, and they going at it.
I know one thing on the post, Nolan. You tried to exclude the O lineman though. I think that's a big thing in the Valley, though.
You got the Moore brothers.
So
I hear what you're saying about the genetic size.
You got to understand how recruiting works. So recruiting is horse trading. It really is. If you want to compare it to something, it's horse trading. The first thing they look at in a lot of situations, especially these young guys getting offers, like these 8th graders and 9th graders getting offers, is just like a horse, like who's his sire, grandsire, whatever, who's his dad, mom, all that stuff.
You spoke that horse training stuff. I was like, I'm from the projects. I never rode a horse.
so if you ever watch the Kentucky Derby and all that other stuff, like they look at the parents, the lineage. So kids who get offers early, very often, they are their parents, their dad was this, NFL running back, or this guy. There's a lot of that
legacy kids.
Yeah.
Not necessarily legacy, because legacy is you played at this school, so your kid gets an offer at this school.
Gotcha.
And that happens too. But I'm saying, like, one of the kids coming.
Projecting what a kid could be, right? Off his parents.
Yeah, because his parents were an athlete. Okay. And that happens a lot.
But also too, is I know in the basketball world, kids are getting offers just by coming from certain schools that other kids came from.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
100%. And then this is where I'm talking about horse trading, because it's like, where's your barn?
Right.
So, just because you come from a certain school, we're seeing kids leave the Valley right now to go to other schools. And these are kids that weren't even getting shots here in the Valley. And 3 months later, these kids are getting offers.
But do you think
that FBS offers?
But do you think that these schools that they're going to are like exceptions to the rule, though? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're comparing a school like a St. Francis to a public school who can their talent pool is basically the boundary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it's hard to.
Not
like
even like
St. Joe's to
to like
Parkland.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't compare.
You know what I mean? I get what you're saying. I totally understand. You know what I mean? But it's just like
it's the same. Yeah, but what I'm saying, guys,
I think he's saying
the same kid just goes to a different school.
Right. He's saying if a kid was over here at Freedom or whatever school and didn't get it done or wasn't getting playing time, but went to another school, a bigger school, more revered school, and was getting it done and now getting offers, what's the problem? What's wrong there?
But in hindsight, though, and like I say, I agree with what you're saying, but in hindsight, there's also kids that do that shit and it don't work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course. You know what I mean?
Right.
No.
That's a gamble.
Right.
You know what I mean? And plus, you have to look at living situations, too. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of kids don't do well 100%. By just leaving their home and going somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Kids aren't ready to be on their own.
I know of kids who've left somewhere and fucked up. They couldn't handle the freedom. They couldn't handle the...
What?
You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like my argument with what you were saying, though, is the fact that I get what you're saying, but I feel like when you generalize it, every situation is different when it comes to these kids. You know what I mean? Like what Marquez would be able to do by going to like a St. Francis or St. Joe's Prep, there's like 10 other kids that might not be able to do the same thing as far as like character and mentally and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that, like, you're right, but we have to understand is like what's good for one is not good for
everybody. Yep.
Now,
and I agree. And if you like look, I've asked the same question multiple times, and like no one can seem to come up with an answer for me. But it's like everyone here basically agrees that my son is good. And if you don't, hey, you can tell me that too. But I think Marquise is good. He picked up a Power 5 offer as a freshman. He's talking to coaches from Oregon, Penn State, Tennessee, all over the place, UCF over the weekend. He's going to be okay. I'm not worried about Marquise. So when people say I'm trying to be controversial, it's not for my son.
Right.
What reason do I have to be controversial if it's not the things I'm actually seeing happen out there?
Right. So what do we do to fix it? That's my thing. What do we do to fix it? And a lot of your argument was about the coaches, though. You know what I mean? The kids to the side. The coaches, the culture of the Lehigh Valley,
But before you answer, no, I don't want to cut you off, but can we kind of come to the agreement that what Marquez is doing is like elite? Like, there's rarely that you get a kid that's a freshman or a sophomore that has that ability to get those type of offers.
Right.
Like, I feel like nowadays we gas these kids up when they're younger.
You can't expect 50 FBS
but not
offers
even that,
out of them.
The problem is the fact of we're telling these kids they're FBS kids at 8.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then when they get to freshmen,
Yeah.
when they get to freshmen or sophomores, and they're not the starter or they're not the guy,
We're transferring.
we're transferring rather than letting them just
Letting
let
them
nature
battle
take
it
its
out.
course. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Do we have
Yeah,
do we have SBS talent?
Now, like I said, and I'm going to be honest with you, I've been seeing this for a while. I don't think the talent pool is as great as it normally was. And I said this on the post. You know what I mean? Not, and I'm not saying your son because he's dope. I'm going to give you that. You know what I mean? But there's not 10 of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
I agree, and that's why I keep talking. I say set my son aside because Marquise is different. I think we can all agree he's different, and that's why I don't want to include him. And to Tone's point, like I don't include the linemen because the linemen are judged a little bit differently too.
We got you.
Because they follow kind of a chart for linemen, and if you're 6'3" and you're heavier than 280, you're good to go as a lineman if you have some decent feet.
Right.
Like it's the lineman is a size game, and it really is. You look at guys like Sean Kinney from Nazareth this year. Coach Mossman said he was I think it was even in the paper. Coach Mossman said he was the best defensive lineman he's ever seen, which is high praise from Coach Mossman.
Mm-hmm.
Kid couldn't get a big time offer because he's 6'2".
Yeah. Size, genetics
So,
and size are a big
yeah.
factor.
Now his family has this very interesting thing. They all grow after 18. If you ever saw the kid's brother is a monster. So maybe what he's doing is to go to he's going to go to Lafayette possibly if he grows. He might transfer out.
Now,
things like that happen.
Let me ask you this: he could have obviously went to a big program to wrestle, right? But
he wanted to play football.
He could have also possibly played football and walked on.
True.
That's a whole.
He could have.
That's a whole different story. I get you're exactly.
Yeah,
what
but
you're
a
saying.
big program, it's tough to do two sports. You can't really wrestle and play football at Penn State.
Absolutely. I'm just bringing up the point that you know what I mean. There was a chance, possibly because I know some schools, but you're right on that.
No, I mean our game against Northampton. I mean, it's not. I don't know. We're a big wrestling area, but people wouldn't notice Cale Sanderson in the stands, but he was there against the game in Northampton trying to talk Sean into wrestling instead of going to play football. But that's what that kid wanted to do.
So,
but again,
real quick, Nolan, Bebe wanted me to ask you, why isn't he fast? He's back on his
why
fast.
isn't who fast?
I guess you. He's saying.
Who?
Bebe, Miguel.
Why am I not fast?
He said, if you're a track coach, why aren't you fast?
Hey, yo, listen. If I set up, can we set up a race?
Because I'm a fat old fuck.
Yo, can we set up a charity race between you and Bebe?
Yo, I'll do it. So, listen, I'm a fat old fuck, but I'll race him. But yeah,
tell Bebe challenge.
If you want to, if you guys want to do something, go Google Usain Bolt's coach and see what he looks like, because he wasn't fast either.
Nolan, we're going to even
play Usain Bolt.
We're going to give you we're going to start with the 5-yard race, and then we'll go to the 40. You should win the 5. Just
I got you 5 to 10.
Just bump them off the line. Those big guys got to take advantage of this.
Yeah, I got you 10 to 20 in. You got it.
I always tell the kids, y'all want to race? I'll bump you off the line. No problem.
Hey, Sean, we about to call you in a second, man. I just see the post.
I've been trying to call Shad. I don't know what's up with his phone.
Crazy.
Yo, Nolan.
Boot one night.
Nolan, thank you for calling in. All right, taking a
no
call.
problem, guys.
Yeah, man. You have a good night.
Hold
respect, bro.
Right,
respect,
right. Nolan, I know shit got a little crazy and shit, man. As far as over here, nothing was done maliciously. We like these conversations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're down with it and
Stir
shit.
the pot, my boy.
It's just, it's respect. Shout out to Quez. Wishing nothing for the best to him and everything like that.
Hey, yo, no.
It's just
it was all fun for me. I was bored and slow at work today, and honestly, I don't know if you guys caught it. I was proud of myself about being the mascot as a senior.
Hey, Nolan, real quick though, if Quez do make it to Oregon, we need tickets, man.
You guys fly yourselves out there. We'll get the tickets.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
I didn't mean to hit that button. Sorry. I meant to switch the page, to clap. But yo, Nolan, have a good night, brother. I'll holla.
Yeah, have a good one, man.
Take care, man.
All right, so I'm going to try Rashad one more time.
Shad, pick the phone up, man.
I'm going to have to call him through Facebook or something, because I don't know what's up with his
phone. There he is.
Oh,
You got
man.
one of them Boost Mobiles.
Yo, Chris.
Yo, you live, SNL live.
Yo, I sent y'all my phone number. You called me via messenger. That's cool too, though. What the hell was that?
We clapping. We got the audience, man.
That's the fanfare for Mr. OTG, man.
Yo, what's good? Yo, what's good? No, I'm just Rashad, bro. I'm just Rashad. I'm just Rashad.
Now you Mr. Make It Happen.
What's good, y'all?
Yeah, what's going on?
No, man. But to go, like, I know y'all started off with like talking about coaches, and I want to get back to that. Like,
Go
that
ahead.
was
Go ahead. Talk your shit.
my opinion on that is, like, when I go to these colleges and I listen to these coaches talk to different people, it usually be like the connections. Like, I seen a coach walk 30 kids into a program and just give his team a tour. They're taking pictures, they're taking photos. Come to find out, he coaches special teams at his high school. And it'd be like the little positions you give people at the high schools that will benefit you more because they were somewhere else. Like, I know a grad assistant at Rutgers right now. You know what I mean? He plays school at a D3. He played football at a D3. He's a grad assistant at Rutgers right now. And one of the things he always tells me is like, never shit on the little man wherever you are, because let's say 7 years from now, I'm at Alabama and your son's 14 or 15 years old. And I know you know what I mean? And I know your pedigree. I just may offer them. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to like offers, like kids getting offers, I legit see kids get offers just off of like who they know or who they're around, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, that makes total sense. You know what I mean? But that was like, so the picture that was painted was like the coaches don't, like everything's on the coaches, the head coach. Or
no,
whatever.
Absolutely not.
And
absolutely not.
I think that was a big misconception.
Yeah, that's what the misconception of the whole.
Like when you put on a post about Bach, like Bach was like the lowest assistant for
bro, his work ethic with money though, I was there firsthand. I was 15. I was 16 years old, bro. You too though. Like I remember that motherfucking Charger. I think that's the car you dropped, the black Charger.
Magnum.
I remember that shit all the time. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's how I remembered you coming to the football games and money going to the gym, putting the work in, playing in different AAU circuits. You know what I'm saying? Just playing for Liberty. He would have never went to Villanova. Just playing strictly for Liberty and doing nothing else. He would have never went to Villanova. So I say to coaches, though, a lot of the times they try to put this strain on kids like, if you go to this camp or you play this 7-on-7 or you go and do this, you're an individual. And it's put that they're doing individualistic things and it's not meant for the team. So when it's pushed on the kid that way, it's being pushed on the parent, and parents shy away from doing extra things with their kids. Sometimes even training. Like I've had a kid that was training with a real life trainer. I think is you guys know Brader. I used to train with Brader back in the day. Right. And the coach used to go back and forth with him like, well, why do you need to train there? We live here. We have a track team here at the school. We can work on speed here. And in different states, I ran into a mom one time in 7-on-7. I know you guys are familiar with Cam Newton's 7-on-7 team. And if you're not, they're one of the best teams in the country. A mom on 15U, bro, she had a I'll never forget this, bro. She had a BBL, these big ass black glasses on, long black hair, bro. I walked over to the sideline, bro. You know, the Rashad Knight things. I walked over to the sideline. I'm conversing with her. You feel me? And she tell me my son's Joseph Stone. This had to be like 2 years ago. I'm like, who the fuck? I don't care. She like, no, you know JoJo. He's the #1 wide receiver in the class of 2024. Blah 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 blah. Like he has offers from all the SEC schools. He was 15 at the time. So I'm like, yeah, you're just blowing smoke. So I go on to Instagram and I see that he has all these offers. So now I'm talking to her because I want to figure out, like, well, shit, what do you do? She's like, instead of me,
real quick, you was trying to be stepdaddy mode, right? You was in stepdaddy mode.
100%. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But no, she was like, yo, instead of buying like Louis bags and taking these big ass trips to Disney, I invest thousands of dollars into my son's training. And what he do outside of football. Football isn't just 1 day a week. It's 7 days a week for us. Like 100%. We train and we do this and this, that, and the third. But like you always say, the books do matter.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You can't be a parent spending thousands of dollars on training and your son got a 1.9 GPA. He getting C minuses in gym. It just don't work out. You know what I'm saying? So I never downplay the coaches around here because we do have some really good coaches that'll teach you very good techniques and put you in very good positions. But there are some coaches that are stuck in the 1960s and think that we can still recruit like Joe Paterno's in office or, even Nick Saban's retiring, bro. Like it's a new day and age. You need to get young blood in on your coaching staff, guys that have went to college. Yo, get some of these kids that went to college back on your staff. Have them do some things.
Do you think that with that young blood, it brings the energy to want to do the extra stuff too?
100%.
You know what I mean? Like
100%. They have the time.
I feel what you're saying. Like what I said earlier was like, how do we fix the gap between the high school coach to the guy who's working on the off season with these kids? So we can
the young blood, like you said,
right.
The young blood. That's the bridge. Somebody that can go to the kid like a Germ. You got a person like Germ. Germ's at Central Catholic. The way it should. Well, when he was at Central Catholic, he should have been the buffer. He should have been the guy that's able to go and talk to the kids and then communicate to the head coach because the head coach is old, right. And then be able to translate all the language so that we're all on the same page.
I tried.
But it's not like that.
Yeah,
it's not.
Because I know for a fact, like for instance, like my man coaches at Emotep basketball, right?
Right.
And one thing I will say is 90% of like the top level Philly AAU coaches are assistants on top high school staffs.
Right.
So they're in tune with what's going on. And now think
in
about
the community.
And think about it, like out there, like you can transfer anytime you want. So
anytime
they're constantly in tune with what's going on with these kids, like in AAU circuits and stuff like that, or what they're doing in like in summer leagues, and because they're trying to get kids to come to play with them. You know what I mean? They have to,
right.
And they're perennially top dogs all the time because they are in tune with what's going on outside of just high school ball.
And it's crazy you mentioned Emotep because, just for instance, they had a guy and he was coaching D-line at Emotep. He was coaching D-line. Literally, he coached there for 3 years, and now he's the D-line coach at Penn State. It's the first thing he did when he got to Penn State, bro. He went and offered almost half the. Come on, bro. Like, it works out that way. It's a system, and the quicker we can get to that system, the better off we'll be. And it sucks that in the urbanized mad weird, but that doesn't matter. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's all about the work the kid does and how much the parent trusts somebody outside of the high school to guide them in the direction they need to be in.
Do you think
that's really what it comes down to?
Do you think that it would be possible if we could, all of us, just have one dope team to go to that tournament to get these kids looked at?
Hell yeah. I'm not opposed to it, bro. All of my kids are from New Jersey because, and Tone laughs at me when I say this, bro, but all of my kids are from New Jersey because PA people in the Valley really don't fuck with me like that, bro. I don't know. Like, I know I'm arrogant. You feel what I'm saying? It's not my fault, bro. Like, I won a lot. Like, I played football. I was decent at football. Like, I just be going off of the shit I did. It's not like I'm making up these stats. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but I don't know. I get into a lot of issues with parents off of just who I am. Maybe it's I went to jail. I don't know. But a lot of my kids from New Jersey, their parents bypass all of that shit, and they see what I really try to get out of kids. And the proof is in the pudding. I'm not saying I made a bunch of kids, but tell me, bro, how many people have you seen, or how many kids have you seen come through my program and they really end up in some shit? You feel what I'm saying? Like, in a place where you be like, damn, bro, he going there. Damn, bro, he going there. Like, I'm not getting rich off this shit. It's just dope for my son to go and see these things and be like, Daddy, I could be here one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it for me.
Shot, that's what I want to say is, regardless of everything, I see what you're doing, especially the stuff you got doing with your son, taking him to those Rutgers events and, showing him the stadium. That's a salute to fatherhood and being a man and handling yours.
K1.
I'm going to go back to your comment about, like, a lot of, like, the bad, we're a middle class, people have it good. And it's funny you bring this up because I had a couple kids ask me this year, why is Aliquippa so good? You want to know why Aliquippa's so good? That's all they got. If we don't,
I'm gonna keep it a bean with you, not to cut you off, Jerm, but like my father's from a place called Faro, Pennsylvania, which is out by Pittsburgh.
Okay.
When you play for Faro, it's your whole city playing for the high school.
Mm-hmm.
Your uncles played there.
Mm-hmm.
Your grandfather played there. Your dad played there. When you're born to play for them schools.
Right.
Because that's your only way out.
Right. It's like Texas football.
You know what I mean? And they embrace it. You feel what I'm saying? Like the city shuts down to go watch the high school game. And if you Google them, they're perennially in state championships or close to there every year. It's 2A, but they still are dogs on it.
Oh, they are.
And they're like 30 minutes from Aliquippa. It's just
bro, that age shit don't matter no more.
It's a culture.
Yeah, it's the culture. And it's the culture that's been there for 50, 60 years. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's why the Philly kids, they also understand.
But can I keep it 100? This is talk your shit, right? I'm gonna keep it 100.
Talk your shit.
So we're all Bethlehem residents. Besides Jeremy, all of us went to Liberty, right? Here's my They're gonna hate me, but here's my biggest knack, and I told Tone this a while ago. Until Liberty embraces that they are half inner city, they're never going to be competitive with a lot of these teams.
I just watched the Parkland have a step team at the halftime of a girls' basketball game, bro.
Did you stand up?
Son.
Step team. I was stepping, dog. I was clapping. I stood up and clapped.
I
said Liberty hasn't had this shit since 2004.
You gotta remember though, like there was. But look, though, there was no disconnect when I was at Liberty between the kids from Pembroke and the kids from
and we got
so
lost
when
with that.
I had friends that lived in Pembroke, and I had friends that lived in Hanover, and I had friends that lived on West Side, and it all came from Coach Moxman never saw color. Like there was no racist shit. Like there was none of that. It was like, yo, we're here to play football, and if you can't play football, get the fuck out my weight room. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's all that mattered. And a lot of this shit don't just be about football. That's all it needs to be about. Not the politics, not who's sleeping with who, not who's going where, how much money this person
who's
is making.
donating money to the booster club.
You know what I'm saying? That does not matter. Let's just focus on football. Let's just focus on football.
Yep.
You know, that's it. That's all it really comes down. Or not even football. Let's focus on your sport, whatever your sport is. You know what I'm saying? Because I want kids to go to college in whatever sports. Like, but that's the key, bro. College was the best thing for me. I didn't go to the NFL, but the experience, bro. Come on.
Let's focus on the kid in general.
Right. That's the one.
Focus on the kid in general. Everything else is going to make sense. You know what I mean? But a lot of it focuses on what money comes to the table or what.
Yeah.
Who's in a higher position that we can please in order to.
Who does the parent know that if I don't play this kid, I'm going to hear it from the back?
No, that's the one. That is the one.
That's getting into a whole other topic.
That's a whole other topic.
How much are parents to blame?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How much are parents to blame? Because I don't want to get.
Yo, coaching this year at the Steelers, right? Coaching this year at the Steelers, I had one of the toughest dynamics because half the team played travel football and the other half was just first year football players. So me being a competitor and being wrong because it's 80-pound football and it should have been all instructional. I'm so focused on competing. You know what I mean? So now you got kids that are by the wayside in the first weeks of football because I'm like, bro, you guys aren't you guys aren't up to speed. When in reality, bro, it's 80-pound football. Let's get them
honestly,
up to speed.
Son, it all should be instructional up until high school.
I didn't have this problem, Rashad.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, listen, you have been suspended more than anybody, dog. What you talking
Time
about?
out here. I thought Chris was tied in with another youth organization. Then one day I got a call. He
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
That's the next. That's the next. Look at Chris. Chris ready to explode.
Listen,
That's the next podcast.
listen.
That topic might end the podcast.
That's the next podcast.
You get me and Chris talking about that.
These two niggas might
I love
fight.
the kids. I don't care where it's at. I coach any kid. Any kid wants to learn from me. I'm gonna go and teach that kid. Shad knows. Tone knows.
Yo,
John knows. Meg, you know
listen,
too.
man. At the end of the day, only thing I care about for real, I don't care where guys are playing at. That does not bother me. I want to see us all equally push the kids. I remember a while back, me and Tone had got into a riff because I'm like, yo, you don't share my shit. And he like, bro, a share, what does that do? And I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, bro, somebody you know may be like, oh shit, I know Shad. Like that's what he's doing now. You feel what I'm saying? And now he shared my shit. And a lot of other people, like, and to be honest, that probably know you that didn't like me before. Oh, this is what he's doing, and sharing my things. And this was before it came to play for OTG. You started sharing my stuff. Like the exposure is where it goes. Who you don't know who's on your Facebook friends list or who has what connection or who cares about what. Yo, you really could put somebody on with just a share, with just one click.
Yo, Tone just said if Ant don't get a Power 5 offer, he's not sharing nothing else.
To be honest, bro, if I could pull a favor offer, bro, you know I got my boy Ant. We gonna make it work. Oh no, you know what you also was talking about? Kids getting offers at 14. So to be honest with you, they're not getting real committable offers at 14 and 15. They're not real committable offers. You can commit and you still can be dubbed like, nah, we're not taking your offer.
You gotta keep that perspective.
It creates steam though.
It creates buzz.
You know what I'm saying? And all I'm saying is, can we get some fucking steam? Like I'm tired of Like all of Raheem and DJ, bro, they earned them offers.
To keep it funky, like, you know, for you're kind of already doing it, but it's kind of up to us guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Us before
right.
that. I think that's what everyone's point is. Don't just throw it on the high school coaches. When we talk about it takes a village to raise these kids, we all do our part. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us are. Everyone at this table are, especially these three. And you know what I'm saying? They are doing it. They done took people already. You know what I'm saying? Colleges. You know what I'm saying? Top colleges. Pros. You know what I'm saying?
But
it's been done. But that's what we say. When we got pros coming out the valley, like, for a guy like Nolan to say that, you know it was going to get spicy. You know what I'm saying?
But the problem is
that's the thing.
It's a village, right? But the village got to be on the same page.
The village is burning.
Right.
Yeah. The village got to be on the same page.
The roof.
It's getting a little better, son.
Everybody want to be the mayor of the village and not work together.
I think about shit about coming together, son.
Like, the relationship, like you said, bro, I do feel like it's getting a lot better. Like, I don't have any animosity towards anybody.
We
when
might
it
get
comes
an
to this.
OTG and Diamond collab. We might get an Academy
no,
and different
so look,
collab.
slow down.
I don't think that's happening.
We should get a combine going here.
Right, you're right, Germ. Something like that. You're right.
We'll definitely take a picture. Yo, not for nothing, bro.
Germ
but like,
said you
what
get a
AJ's
combine
doing is dope. But what AJ is doing is dope. Like, I don't hate on it. That shit motivates me to be better, bro. Like, I got a Kobe-like mindset, bro. I don't want to see him fail. If he's successful, that's only going to make me want to grow what I'm doing. Like, if he's not doing shit, I'm going to feel shitty. Like, damn, bro, come over here and coach with me. Like, I don't want to see nobody fail because we're all doing the same shit. We're all doing the same shit, bro.
Right.
Like, unless you trying to mess with my bitch, like, other than that, bro, you can't really bother me. Like, my son, my shorty, like, it do, though, but I can fight. You know what I'm saying? So don't even, you know what I'm saying?
She gonna have that OTG tube top on, so they gonna be on it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. It's big, though. You see the OTG now.
Them biker shorts with the OTG on the back is gonna be lit.
Nope. We're not doing that. My girl already told me we're not doing that. It's been done up. She already done that. That's what we it was nice while it lasted, though.
Right.
But yo, my man Rashad, we appreciate you, bro, taking the call.
Yes, sir.
We just had
going back to playing Call of Duty.
We had some good conversations.
Yo, send that gamer tag, fam.
Yeah.
I got you, man.
All right, brother. Be good.
Good luck with everything, man. OTG, shout out to OTG, man. 7-on-7.
I appreciate you, my boy.
If any of y'all looking to play any kind of football, off-season football, 7-on-7, this is the man to get to.
Before you hang up, though, Shaw, when's the next sign-up or whatever you're doing? What you doing next?
Yo, I got practice on Sunday, man. Anybody that's interested, you have a kid 7 through 18, bring them out. We having a scrimmage, so you'll get some live action to be able to run around, see actually how we coach, and be in the mix of what we're doing. That's actually going to be my last open practice, and then we're shutting down rosters for the season.
And what's the social media joints? Goats?
Hey, man, only the Goats 7-on-7 with 2 A's. I was dyslexic growing up, so I put 2 A's in Goats.
I bet.
Shot, I got a good fundraiser proposal. You're two.
Okay, just hit me, bro. You know I'm open to everything.
No, I'm gonna just put it out here. You're 2 OTG coaches. You're 2 OTG coaches, right? You could have a celebrity boxing match.
I thought it was a race. Now we
could do a race.
I'm thinking one-on-ones. I'm thinking they do one-on-ones.
Okay, all right.
I'm thinking they do one-on-ones. I think we go live and we have to do one-on-one.
I like that.
Come on
now.
now.
Tell you what,
I like that.
You get that going, I'm telling you right now, $100 out of my pocket towards your program.
I'm about to get it going.
Half the proceeds go to OTG, half of them go to SNM.
Yeah, that works.
And
that works for me.
6X taking 10%.
I hear that. I definitely hear that.
Yo, Shad,
you gotta pay the broker.
Shad, I'm still waiting for my drip, brother.
What trip? What happened?
My drip.
Oh, you can pull up as soon as you're done with the podcast, bro. I got it downstairs in the living room.
I ain't get my Scully yet, man.
Yo, you wanted that red Scully, right? With
man,
the right
I ain't getting my joint yet, man. That's like
that's
like 2 years, man. That's like 2 years.
Yo, you know what? I'm terrible. I got you. Say no more. I got you.
Shad had me last year, so this is the new year, the new drip for this year.
Yeah, the new 2024. I got it, everybody. I got them.
All right, brother. Be good, man. God bless.
All right, y'all be good.
Can we get JP on?
Yeah, we can get JP on.
See you, JP. Hey, yo, hold on. Before we call him, hey, Justin, Shout out to the 12U. All right, he said we go to these flag tournaments out of town to get mad love. Out here, it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, because there's 1,000 of y'all niggas.
I mean, you know why, bro. We just said it. You know why? Because there's competition between 2-3 other flag organizations in the Valley, just like there's competition between 2 other 7-on-7s. You know what I'm saying? That just, that's what it is.
I could have thought we started the damn show with a congratulations.
We did. Yeah, we did. We definitely did.
We did.
Exactly.
We did big up.
We shouted him out.
We big up.
I don't think he's talking about us.
Let's shout you out, Coach White. We know.
Yeah.
You, Chris, we know.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? Shout out to y'all, man.
Shout out Rob. Shout out Rob with the shout out. Good looks, Rob.
Word.
We got JP next.
Yeah, shout out to Rob, man. Yo, listen. Hold on.
No 49.
Before we get this motherfucker on here. Yo, shout out to Rob Torres, though. He one of the originators, too.
Yeah.
He one of the originators, too. He been down. I mean, we know you are, nigga, but Rob been there for, you know what I'm saying?
Rob was down with the gang first.
Yeah, and then I feel like he was the first one to branch off. And
Double OS.
He had everyone else under him, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Justin was under him.
I got some
Bebe was
OS
under
here,
him.
too.
Everybody was under him. You know, Shy was under him at one point. Like, shout out to Rob, man.
Yeah,
Rob took a step
Rob-
back and
Rob-
let everybody branch out.
He put his time in. You know?
Yeah.
Once your kids get to high school and shit like that, you take a step back, you cool.
Rob created Death Row.
Rob created Death Row.
You ain't heard that story, fam?
I think, he told us that.
Rob is the reason why Death Row started.
Oh, because
Rob was at the Raiders, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell the story. So Rob at the Raiders, and they just beat somebody, like they smoked them. You know what I mean? So
It's probably JP's team.
You know, at the end of the game, when like all the kids come and they talk to the coach and shit, this nigga Rob was wild hype. He had a video camera, everything. So we sitting there watching the game, right? So I was like, yo, this nigga Rob was like P. Diddy, fam. So I walked over there. I was like, yo, if you don't want to coach all the videos.
That's a big insult right now, son.
I said, yo, if you don't want your coach all in your videos dancing and shit, come to Death Row. Everybody think that Death Row shit is like some crazy like gangster shit. Nah, it was because Rob was dancing in the videos like P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Ask Leroy, he know the story.
Nah, nigga, we had.
I remember the original meme I made.
Yes,
With you, Leroy, Tone,
fucking
Keith,
and we
fucking Leroy, fucking Kyle, Kyle Tarboro, Keith Jones, me, Black Chris, big ass black motherfuckers in the picture.
Shout out Rob, though. That's my dog, for real. Shout out Rob.
Yo, JP, what up, dog?
John Paul.
Bang Niner
What's
gang.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Yeah, you call her in, man. You want to hear from the parents' perspective, right?
Perspective, son.
Right. It might not be that easy to get your kid down to Texas for a 7-on-7 or a camp or something like that, huh?
100%. I mean, even Jon knows doing 6X. You know what I mean? How hard it was for some parents just to pay for AAU tournament.
Right?
Yeah. You know, I got a car full of 3 kids to take them up to Lancaster because parents couldn't even go to Lancaster, fam.
Right.
You know, it's funny you bring this up because me and JP talk about this a lot.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, with him being involved.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about a school the other day, and he was like, you know, Jerem, I'm gonna have 3 kids in college next year. Like, it's just not that easy.
Right.
And I understand where he's coming with that.
Right. Yeah, it's true. Right.
But this again where it comes into it takes a village, right? If I'm taking my son to a camp and I got 2 kids that can't make it or parents can't afford to take them,
Hop in the car with me.
like, yeah, come with me. I'll take you.
All right. So
But Chris, that's you. That's you. The problem. You know, the biggest problem I feel is everyone's competitive, dog.
Yeah.
Everyone, all these guys. It sounds like I'm listening to you guys talking. And, let's put a squad together. Too much pride, man.
Yep.
Too much pride.
No one's really doing that.
Yeah, it's cool to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But realistically, you know what I mean, I would love to see it done. But there's pride. There's pride in the high school coaches that don't want to bring in, you know, the 7-on-7 coaches because they don't feel like what credibility do they have? The 7-on-7 coaches who think we got recycled coaches. These niggas don't know nothing, so we don't want to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be.
That is one thing. It might have come to a point where the high school coaches might have to get to the table I don't know, with some of these 7-on-7 coaches, some of these youth coaches, or no.
No, I agree. I agree.
Or no.
I can attest to this though. So when I said earlier,
like, so if you combine the Bethlehem area school district with some of these 7-on-7 programs, now you could get them to the tournaments that got the scouts there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't gotta take
100%.
them to the little jersey tournaments or whatever. That don't mean nothing.
Or also though is like, for instance, like going back to what I said about the whole Emotep thing. Like, so on Emotep they have like 4 or 5 coaches that are on the sidelines, right? Some of them coach for team finals. Some of them coach for scholars. Some of them, they coach all over the place. So even though I'm coaching for the high school, I'm still coaching kids that play for other high schools. So I might give that look that my kid might not get. I'm like, yo, go over there to St. Joe's Prep. He got a kid over there that could go for your program.
Yeah.
The problem is I don't think that's happening out here. Like, if you don't play for Parkland, you're not going to send somebody to Liberty and you'll go check out this kid from Liberty. My guy might not fit for your school, but he might. You know what I mean? And that's where the egos and pride comes in. And that's where if these guys who do like the 7-on-7s are in tune with the high school, they can be like, listen, although 3 of my kids go to Parkland, 3 of my kids go to Liberty, I can put you on to a bunch of different kids who go to different schools that might fit your program. But now I'm going to call that high school coach and be like, yo, such and such wants to come to the school on Tuesday. Can he come? Yes, cool. That's where the
are the high school coaches doing that? Do they network with each other?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure some, but
some do. Some of the coaches I know from
It seems like within the high school head coaches ranks, they almost as spicy as. But you know what I'm saying? Youth coaches and shit. Like, they got beat. It's like JP said, everyone's competitive.
I mean, they had an issue this year at the all conference stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, coaches couldn't get along on voting.
On voting.
Dudes have issue with kids saying hi to other coaches.
Yep.
Yeah,
we getting accused of recruiting out here because we giving hugs and hand pounds before games.
That for
that's a conversation we're going to leave alone right now. Pacheco's not here to pick up the phone.
He probably
Besides that, listen. So I had a conversation with a kid. I'm not going to say his name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we ain't saying no names.
I ain't saying no names. I was at Liberty today, and I told him, I said, listen, you know, you're at Liberty now. You're going to leave. I said, you know, eventually you're going to have to put your feet down and plant in the soil, dog. Because you know what I mean? Because you can't keep bouncing around. Eventually, you gotta have to be somewhere, compete, believe in that program.
I'm glad you
and build
said that. I'm glad
and make it better. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean. You gotta have listen. And Germ knows, and all you guys know. Liberty went 2-8. I could have been anywhere with my son. I could have followed the bandwagon, went to Central. You know what I mean? I could have done all that, but. My son chose to believe in what these coaches were selling, and he, you know, I'm gonna help them. I see their vision, and whether people agree with it or not, he wants to build that vision with them. You know what I'm saying?
You just reminded me of something, bro. But go ahead.
On a 2-8 team, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know he should be doing it. But after every game, I got his huddle count, pulled his highlights out, I tapes. You know what I mean? And you know now we're at a place on a 2-8 team as a 15-year-old sophomore. He got five D1 schools that reached back out like, hey, come to this camp. Let's see what you got. Keep sending me film, you know, but we'll keep an eye on you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
JP, does that cost money? Like, I don't know the huddle stuff like that well. Does it cost money?
Free,
so it's free, right?
It comes with
it's
the
free,
school.
Right? Yeah.
Son, huddle's free. Every kid has access to it. You know what I mean?
So it's just effort. It's just effort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Effort. But it took me a couple hours to learn how to really, cut the thing. You know what I mean? Keep it short. I did my research. I talked to some coaches I know.
JP,
hey, what do you got?
JP,
what's up?
Hold on real quick. What I think should be done, and I think we could all agree, is before the season, these coaches should be bringing everybody in and giving a huddle class.
There should be
how you do
huddle
it.
class, SAT classes, all that
Correct.
stuff, bro. How to work
that's
appropriately on social media, all that stuff, bro.
Bro, that's the one part I think schools are lacking on because a coach has 65 players on his team. He can't do it for everyone. But if you sit everyone back in one room and you invest 6 hours or 3 hours on, hey, this is how you work huddle. This is how you work Twitter. And Dano actually, for as much, nonsense people give him, whatever people have to like him. Like he did, he showed my son his Twitter account and helped him, set up some stuff on Twitter. And talk to him about the recruitment aspect. You know what I mean? So,
even with that though, is like that's where like Rashad's point comes in. Is like that's where you hire the young blood for.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where like the low man on the totem pole. Your job is to make sure that all these kids are.
Liberty got what? 20 coaches on the staff.
Yeah, just hire one of them to do
What
that.
about why can't we delegate 3 to 4 kids per coach? You
Yeah,
keep
or
up
that.
on these kids,
Or
right?
that.
We got 4. We're a basketball team. We got 4 coaches in this room. We got what? 15 kids on the team.
Yeah.
Hey, John, you take 3 kids. Tone, you take 3.
Right.
I'll take 4. You take 3, and we stay up on them. Hey, but there always gets to a point where, like we always were saying here, a coach can only do so much.
Right.
At some point, the kid got to want to do it. The kid got to get into it.
Right.
But there's another thing too. What about the kid that doesn't have the access to it, that can't do it?
Don't
Can
they
the
all got
coach-
laptops in high school?
Yep.
And there shouldn't be anyone. Whatever, you get a Chromebook.
That's
You get a
where-
Chromebook?
Yeah,
That's
they get a
where
Chromebook, I
I mean,
think. You get a
that's where the
Chromebook,
coach got to
cell
come in.
That's where the coach got.
That's
help.
where the coach got
He's
to
got
come
a
in.
phone.
But the kid got to make it known
Yeah,
that
he needs
wants
the help.
this.
Correct. He needs the help.
He wants this.
Because a coach is
You know
not
what
going
I'm
to waste
saying?
his time if the kid's not in.
That's why I
Right.
say like, we throw it out there. I mean, hopefully somebody's listening. I mean, athletic directors, they should look into the like we're saying here, huddle class, SAT stuff. Like
But that's not even something like if that never happens from anyone else. That's something like John. That's something like through 6X. You get like one of those young kids that know that stuff, and you know me. You teach a class.
Right. I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
You know, you can hold it at the boys' club and you just throw it out there. You know, yo, listen, we're gonna teach kids how to use Huddle and Twitter and how to make your highlights and
Shit,
keep it
you could
simple.
even do that on Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Because again, it's going to come down to the kid and the parent doing as much as they can to put themselves in that situation they want to be in. Because at the end of the day, I mean, a coach can say, yeah, I'm down for you, but realistically, man, you got 3 years with them, and they want to win in those 3 years, and when you're gone, you're gone.
Right.
But that's where, you as a coach,
So you
those
can't
three-
depend on the coach.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it like we've been saying, it does take a village, right? And as a coach, myself, I'm invested in my kids. I'm always asking about grades.
That's the number one thing.
Always grades. How's your grades? Even kids that don't even coach no more. I was at Liberty today. I seen a couple of my old players. First thing I said, "How's your grades?" Coach, I got a 3.5 GPA. That's great. Keep up your grades. How's the weight room? Coach, I'm doing good in the weight room. Everything's going good. Right? All right, cool. Is there anything I can do for you? Just let me know. All right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if they play for me or not. It's just these kids, we just need more people to really care about them. And help Huddle. I helped my nephew do it. He didn't know how to do it, or my niece.
What do y'all feel about, like, maybe them not even, like, before they even get to high school learning this shit, bro?
Yeah.
These dudes know how to play Call of Duty. These dudes know every NBA YoungBoy song.
Right. They basically
You know what I mean?
gonna have to.
I think we
that's
need
like
to-
that's like season 4 of The Wire, man, about the school system and shit.
Yeah.
Like they try to do all that reconstruction, rehabilitation. They tried to pick like high school kids. No, they're far gone.
Yeah.
They're gone by then.
Like,
You
my
got to
thing-
get them. You got to get them in middle school, 7th, 8th grade.
My thing is,
6th,
like,
7th, 8th grade.
It comes back to, like, when I said, like, they're anointing these kids as 8-year-olds as Power 5
Goats and
goats and shit.
Yeah.
How you a GOAT if you don't even know what a huddle is? How you a GOAT if you don't know that you need an SAT to get to a certain thing? How you a GOAT if you don't know that you have to get this GPA to? That's part of the process.
Yeah, a lot of false expectations
You know what I
for
mean?
these
Like,
kids.
it's just not scoring touchdowns. It's just not shooting threes. It's more than that. We forget the scholar part of the scholar athlete, bro. Let's be honest.
So,
You
like,
know what I mean?
that's what I-
Like I always say this, not to cut you off, Chris,
No,
but
you're good.
we can go on our timelines right now and see 1,000 flag 7-on-7 AAU highlights. When was the last time you see somebody post a report card, bro?
Yep.
Right.
So
You know
when
what I mean?
I was talking to Shaba earlier today, and he's a coach at University of Penn. He told me when a kid gets recruited from us, there's a database where Huddle, Twitter accounts are all there. Their coaches have to look at them, and then they get designated. Let's reach out to this kid, that kid. First thing they check, he said, is grades. If you don't meet the part, we don't care how good you are. We're moving on to the next person.
And let's keep it a bean, yo.
And that's every school.
Nah, but I'm gonna keep it a bean, yo. So, like, the ultimate goal is to go pro, right? So when you get drafted, they're basically gonna
give you a fucking-
listen. They're basically gonna invest millions of dollars into you, right? When you go pro, they go back to your 6th grade year and talk to your. When Darren got the Pistons, when they did their research on Darren, they went to his principal in Bronco Ask him about his grades and his character.
Oh, word.
Facts. I swear to God to you, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
'Cause you're an investment.
You're an investment, bro. Like, they're not going to give you this millions of dollars off your highlight. They want to know
They don't
what
want to see your ass went crazy.
They want to know
seventh grade.
Yeah, they want to know if you skipped school, how many days you missed. They want to know all that because they're investing in you as a person first.
Correct.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to give you this $10 million and you're going to fuck it up in the first 5 weeks of the season.
6 months, yeah.
You know what I mean?
John's big word, what he's using right now, is character.
Yes.
It's your character.
Hey, but John,
Can
you guys still hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You don't think we mess up with like I tell my kids, like our goal was never pro. You know what I mean? I always said, since we started playing flags and wrestled at 4, so our goal is free education, though.
Right.
Like our number one goal, if you're gonna do sports as an avenue, you know what I mean, and not like a fun recreational thing, then it's gonna be for free education. Because once you get that free education, if you go pro, great, you're gonna make money. But if you got that education, you're gonna make money. You're gonna be successful. You know what I mean, I think a lot of these parents, they push that pro thing, and people, all these 7-on-7 guys, everyone wants to push the let's go D1, let's go pro. For what?
And they never even.
You know what I mean?
And you can't say you know how to get somebody Division 1 or pro if you never did it before, bro.
Yep.
And
You know what I'm saying?
And I always say this is I can attest that I've seen kids go to the highest level. And it's genetics first, work ethic second, and fucking luck, bro. I'm gonna keep it a beat. There's a little bit of luck that comes with that shit, bro. Because you gotta be in the right place at the right time and do the right thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like,
let's stop sales pitching the pros. You know what I mean? The sales pitch, the education gonna be there. Because that's something you miss out on. You can't miss out on that.
Because when when you go to Division 1, everybody's nice. It's your work ethic. Everybody's nice.
JP,
You know what I mean?
I told you this one before, and I told we like this one. You know this one. A guy we know Jared when he went to Syracuse. We talked, Jared West, and me and Jared would talk all the time. Jared was saying, "Yeah, they recruiting this guy." I said, "Well, my uncle told me at an early age, 93 players on a Division 1A football team back then. You're one of 93. Guess what? All other 92 are all state players.
Right.
You're going from big fish and little pond to guppy and big pond, and they're recruiting somebody every year to take your spot.
Right. While we're on Jared West, I want to say something too. Is the fact of stop telling these kids that they're running backs and that's it. Stop telling these kids they're quarterbacks and that's it. Jared West, when he played for the Saints, because we only have 15, 16 kids on the team, he had to play multiple positions. He went to middle school and he played quarterback at Northeast. Anthony Gonzalez was the quarterback at Nichmond. They were both in the same class. They were battling freshman year to be quarterbacks.
Yep.
Anthony Gonzalez was better. I'm going to keep it a buck. But now if Jared just played quarterback up to this point, he would have had no shot at playing other positions.
Right.
But because in midget league, he played multiple positions and knew how to do that, he transitions to wide receiver and ended up going to a D1 school. You know what I mean? These kids are going from fucking, excuse my language, but they're going from flags to 9th grade being nothing but quarterbacks. And let's be honest, you guys are coaches. The best position that you could probably play early is D-back.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids don't even play defense in midget league. Why? Let them play multiple things because that dude, that's a dog that's in front of you. And when you get to, he might be better than you forever. Transition to somewhere else to be able to play there. You know what I mean?
A lot of those kids are going to get told to go to defense when they get to college.
No, or they're going to transfer.
He's right. It's funny you bring that up, John, because I was at the gym last night and a kid that I mentor, he's a good running back around here. I was trying to explain to him, like, you're going to go to these camps. Don't go as a running back. And he's like, what's your beef with me? I said, you need to go as an athlete.
Yes.
You go, if you line up in the slot, you line up at safety, linebacker, whatever you got to do. Yeah. Because the ultimate goal is to get, a school might not see you as a running back. They might see you as defensive player. But if you want to promote yourself, I'm just playing running back. Guess what? We don't need you because we got 6 other guys that look like you and play like you.
Yes.
But if you decide to play this position, we might have a spot for you. And that, I think, is not marketed right out here as well These kids need to be marketed as athletes.
Yeah.
Don't be saying you're a wide receiver cornerback or you're a wide receiver. Say I'm a wide receiver D-back. I'm I'm an offensive lineman, defensive lineman.
I'm a football player.
I'm a football player.
I'm going to do whatever it takes for me to get on this field. Once I get on this field, I'm going to show you what I can do.
So Jay, like you're living in an experience right now. Like you're in the live right now. How is it for you? You know what I'm saying? How is it for you and JJ? But JJ, a sophomore, going to be a junior, right?
Mm-hmm.
He just played sophomore. He had played varsity. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how is it?
It's if you don't sit back and really just like enjoy it, you can get caught up in it if you try to make it too much. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like for him, like I don't want to be one of those dads that I put so much pressure on him that he's not even looking like, damn, I'm just playing high school football and loving, doing what I love to do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's why with him, like I kind of took over like the videos for him and making them, because at first I was pressing him, but then I'm like, this kid just wants to be a high school kid and play football. Like, yeah, he wants to achieve his dream, but he has no problem working hard when it comes to like the workouts and the practice and the lifting and all that stuff. But when it came to that aspect of it, it was just something that he didn't want to do. So I just, I just took kind of over that and just to help him achieve his goals. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, as a parent, if you listen to all the nonsense, it almost got a little scary for me, like overwhelming. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like when we growing up, none of this shit, none of these talking points, none of this happened. No. Our dads are just fucking chilling, drinking a beer,
let it play out.
chilling out, letting it play out. You know what I'm saying? All the way up. You know what I mean? Like 100%. My dad made sure I was committed. You know what I'm saying? But it was up to me to go to these workouts, go to lifting, go to practice, and to enjoy the game and love the game. And by the time I got to college and shit, he said, nigga, if your heart ain't in it, what the fuck is you doing? You know what I'm saying?
I always said this, though.
Now, kid, like you said, the pressure, you don't want to put the pressure on our kids. Like me, for instance, when my son, I've been screaming at my son since he was 5 years old.
But
you know what I'm saying? Like, he can't, But he can't do that. Like,
here's the thing, though, is it's when we were younger, it was a select few that made it to college to play football, sports, period.
Yeah. And they were heroes around here.
And they were heroes. But here's the thing, though. Like Hoagie and them's era and beyond, there was a lot of them that did it. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But what happened was, because there were so many,
they think that's the standard.
They thought that shit was easy, bro. Right. Mm-hmm. They didn't understand the grind.
They didn't appreciate
the grind. Right. And it goes back to our talking point episode, because now, that 5 or 6 year span, they had like 15, 16 kids. Mm-hmm. And that's just in Liberty alone. Mm-hmm. And that's not even saying the kids from other areas that did it. So now the parents that are behind them are like, oh yeah, my son can do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You don't understand how hard these boys work and how talented they were naturally.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And now it's like they're skipping steps because they think it's so easy, bro. And now, and it goes back to the talking point of those guys that did it aren't coming back to tell these kids how hard it fucking was. You feel what I'm saying? Like, let Levi tell his story of Temple. Mm-hmm. Let Anthony Gonzalez tell his story when he was at Pitt. Let Jared tell his story about Syracuse. Those little nuances that they can bring to the table is what none of us can do, because we never did that shit before.
Right.
That's where I go to you, where we say we're disconnected.
Yes.
Because these high schools are not reaching out to these guys and saying, hey, these kids need to know what it's like to, like last year was great. It was great being able to tell the kids, like, the Freedom Liberty game.
Yeah.
This is it, bro. Mm-hmm. You walking out. Like I told the kids Central this year,
it's nothing like
your Little Becca Central game now isn't like that walking out there. And when they came to the game, they're like, yo, coach, there's a lot more people here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the whole city out.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother thing is let's see the whole city support every week.
Right.
And
but I'm gonna tell you,
the crowds now are nothing.
Real
like
quick,
but
Jeremy had a dirty play on the Freedom Liberty game.
He's dirty.
You got kicked out.
And then I got a penalty. I didn't get kicked out.
You thought he got pass interference.
But your man Todd Mills was grabbing the hell out of me.
Then the next play, I ended the game with an interception.
Yeah, what?
But I'm gonna keep it.
I don't remember that.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you.
To pull up the article?
The reason why they don't support a lot of these games is because a lot of the kids who are supposed to be playing in the game are playing somewhere else.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Like, or not playing football.
And it goes down to the midget leagues too. Is a lot of, especially in Bethlehem, like a lot of these kids that are playing midget league are from other areas.
Yeah.
So our midget leagues in Bethlehem run shit. Let's keep it a bean.
Right.
You know what I mean? Pound for pound, we are the best city when it comes.
Well, you
to
got a
midget
mixture of kids from.
But then when they go to middle school and high school, they go
Parkland,
somewhere
Lower
else.
Mac,
That's the problem. There's no boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is like the high school coaches aren't in tune with what's going on
No.
because they don't care until these kids get to 8th grade, bro.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So now you're expecting you to be good because the Steelers are good or the Saints are good or the Raiders are good, but half of these motherfuckers is going back to Parkland and Allentown and Whitehall and everything else.
Or Central.
And then now the kid who was in the back behind these dudes who's going to Liberty is behind the loop.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because he didn't get those reps when he was, you know what I mean, when he was younger.
Yeah.
So now we're struggling.
So you think people are supposed to put boundaries like baseball?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, if you're going to look at it as your feeder program, yeah.
You,
Well, they
you
were
have to.
they were doing
But the
that.
problem,
They were
but
trying
in
to.
hindsight, the problem is the fact that the good coach, the kids are going to follow the good coaches, and the areas that aren't good at midget league is because some of them don't have good coaches.
Have good coaches.
So you can't tell a parent like you have to play for the hockey, whatever, and the coaches suck. You know what I mean? I'm paying you $100 for me to get my son good. I'm going to take him where my $100 is going to be worth it. You feel what I'm saying?
Understandable.
So it's a gift and a curse. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
the teams that are competitive, the teams that are good have good coaches. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can see they're consistently in the mix. You know what I mean?
But I honestly
we have
think
to cut our we have to cut our registration off at like a certain number. 'cause-
What I'm going to go in to
It's
say is
crazy.
some youth organizations wind up struggling because the good kids that are at one thing and aren't winning, they see their homies at another program winning, and guess what they do? The same thing that we're doing in 2024 in college football. We're going in the transfer portal. Oh, we're not good this year. We're going to go over to that program just to get that little ribbon. We grew up playing with our boys.
Yeah.
It was
If
we
you
grew
played
up in
for the South Side, you lived in Pembroke, you was a sucker.
But
bro.
that would never happen. Right,
You know what I mean?
right. Vice versa, right. If
I
you was
just-
in the South Side, you playing for the Saints.
Right.
You was in Pembroke on North Side, you playing for the Raiders.
And
You know,
honestly-
West Side, you playing for fucking Steelers.
Honestly,
Well, I played at the Raiders.
I played for the Steelers.
Nah, I played for the Saints.
I played Raiders.
Shit, son.
I played
that's
Raiders.
why. That's why you over there at Whitehall right now, Jerm. That's why. That's
do,
why
man?
That's why Spags. You said you ain't come back to the hood in a while.
Hey,
dog.
man, I gotta come back.
You know what I mean?
Well, I was trying to help
Shit.
the hood out at Liberty, but that we don't embrace that over there, so that's a whole nother.
I agree.
But and that's where I was going to go with that too. You got a guy like Jason Roder over at Freedom. He's still sending a bus over to the South Side to pick them kids up.
That's
in the
what
summer.
changed the game.
Get the bus. Coach
That's
Morgan's he did that with us.
That's what changed the game.
Right.
Man.
I mean,
Coach
let me
started that. Like that was.
Yeah,
let me-
that's-
That was
'cause I ain't gonna lie.
that affected us forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
When
Like,
I was
that
in when I
affected
was in
us
high
forever.
school, when I was in high school, the football team sucked.
Yeah.
Because nobody was walking across the bridge after practice.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Nobody was at 6 o'clock. I'm not walking from Liberty to 5 Points
5 Points
every
out.
night.
Nope.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not
Especially
doing
after a
that.
double session.
And then I got to go lift and walk in this cold. No, it's not happening. son. It's not happening. We don't even got practice. I'm just lifting and I got to walk home. Nah. I'm gonna go to Ontario Street and trap.
Hey, another interesting thing, Tone and Chris, you guys can be. Back in the day, we didn't have 7-on-7s. We went to 7-on-7s as a team.
Yeah.
Remember Lehigh?
Yeah, the Lehigh camp.
Lafayette.
Lafayette camp.
No,
And-
but also you played Rumble Fumble, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it a bean. Like
You were a kid.
Many holes in the jeans.
These basketball and football, these kids don't go out and play on their own. Everything
So now is
organized
that
and
a
scripted.
problem, right? So now everything is competitive. Everything is the win a ring. Everything is scripted. Everything is practice. Do what a coach says. Do this. You know what I'm saying?
it doesn't-
Have we got away? It's us. It's our kids. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
have we got away from them just learning it on the fucking playground?
Yes,
learning it in the
yes,
sand. Learning it in
yes.
the mud.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Because that's how we got it. You know what I mean?
Right.
100%.
Yo, listen,
But by the time I got to high school, I ain't need a coach to tell me what a route is, how to run a route,
Yeah,
none of
nope.
that shit.
Why do you
know what I'm
think-
saying? How to catch, none
How
of
to
that
tackle.
shit.
Why
How
do
to,
you-
you're right.
I
none of that
always
shit.
say this: if you watch midget,
Even
league,
in basketball is bad too.
if you watch midget league sports, right, it'd be like week 3. The kid lost his football game. He's fucking crying in tears.
Right.
Yep.
Like it's the end of the world.
Right.
Yep.
Or a basketball game is you played 30 games and you lost your third game.
We wouldn't cry unless it was like a championship game.
Right.
It was some big.
But because
I don't even think we cried that much.
Man, I went to Brockle. I was used to losing.
But it's because you went to the park and played 5 games in a day. You wasn't going to win all 5.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you knew, like, first of all,
if you out there bitching, you might get beat up.
Yeah,
you
better not cry.
If you're out there talking too much shit, you might get beat up. You know what I mean? Or it was a fight, whatever it was.
The kids don't have the natural, and the problem is a lot of these kids lose because they don't play hard from the beginning.
Right.
So they don't have this.
Game.
They don't have this natural ability to be like, you know what? I gotta win this fucking game because if I don't win, I'm not gonna play the rest of the day. They know when they go to these games with schedules and refs and things. All right, well, if I lose this one, I got another one tomorrow. But they're still crying. You feel what I'm saying? Because they're caught up in the moment of I lost the game because they don't know how to lose.
I think that's on some of us, though. That's some of us.
It's our era.
That we put them in competitive tournaments at 5 years old, 6 years old.
Yes,
and you know what I mean.
And they're not
to whereas if they lose now, they're done. They're losers.
Yes.
Some other team is getting in the ring.
Yes.
Some other team is popping bottles and you know what I mean, holding up a banner and shit.
And you gotta watch. And you gotta watch for the next week the video that they posted online.
But the other side is
Tom, let me ask you a question, Tom.
Go ahead, Jay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yo, but listen. So like back in our day, like you know what I mean, because it's true. Cause I can remember going to Tank Park and like coming with my 5. Going to Tank, playing their 5, and you know what I mean. I remember going to Santa Island and meeting up, and going over to Madison. You know what I mean, like traveling with my 5 and playing. But would you let Ant jump on his bike and pedal 4 or 5 miles?
You right.
Yeah, that's the same shit he said. He said, "You gonna let me go over? You gonna let me walk to Yasco and play?"
He better not have a blue flag in his pocket.
I feel you, Jay. I feel you, Jay. We're a little bit more, we're a little bit more.
You're right.
We're a little bit more protective.
But also,
we lived it. We seen it. I don't know.
But I say this though: is why can't we just, instead of us putting $5 on the parlay, everybody put $5 and go run the gym and have these kids just play basketball and don't say shit.
Right.
Yeah.
I got a gym.
Leave the building.
Don't say nothing.
You need to open the gym up.
Because think about it. How many times do you go watch a sports game and every time something happens, the kid looks in the stands and looks at his dad to see what he's going to say? You know what I mean? Nigga, our dads wasn't at the park.
Yeah, facts.
Our dads wasn't, you know what I mean? You was going to look at your teammate because you done fucked like, all right, nigga, don't turn the ball over again because we're trying to win this game.
But I also think the demographics is a little bit different though, Jay. Like we all lived in a community. We all lived with amongst each other.
That comes back to what I was saying,
all these kids' friends and everything is scattered. Ant got friends. Our kids got friends from Allentown, Easton, Parkland, you know what I mean? West side.
They don't go to the park.
Whatever.
They don't go to the park, bro.
It goes back to what Jonathan said, like his pop growing up in Farrell.
Yeah.
It was like us. I know I'm still tight. Like we preach it. Like we ride hard for our Southside boys. Like whether we were at Freedom, Liberty, Becca, same like Pembroke, same like the Township. Like it is what it is, man. And these kids these days, they're okay. Like they're friends now because of all this stuff.
Social media changed the game too, though, because you couldn't call my homie in Allentown.
Nope.
I didn't see that nigga.
I ain't know who the hell he was.
I mean, I didn't see him. What else see him? You know what I mean? So now, like, I can say, oh, you guys got a flag tournament. Well, let's link together and go play because I got you at the touch of my finger.
It's a gift and a curse, man.
It's just new times. You know what I mean?
Right.
But with these new times, it takes away from old values, bro.
100%.
And a lot of these values that they're not learning, they need, because if you think about it, that kid who don't got that phone, who lives in Aliquippa, who's hanging with it, they're all hanging together because none of them got phones.
Yep.
When they get to high school, those are the dogs.
Right. Yep. Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the difference.
I was going to kind of say that, like my experience with the Brockle kids, coaching Brockle, they don't know nothing about this culture.
Nope.
Flag culture, 7-on-7 culture, youth football culture. They don't know nothing. They haven't started playing until they got to Brockle, 7th grade.
Yep.
They don't know nothing about it. So those are the kids that are just at Madison fucking around, shooting the basketball, throwing the football with each other.
And those be the studs.
Right. But it takes a longer to develop them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And nowadays it's like, ring culture, championship culture. You want instant wins, instant gratification.
Right.
These kids might not develop until they get to 9th, 10th grade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the thing is that's the prime time that you want them to develop, though. A kid at 8, 9 times out of 10, he's good because the gap of him knowing the sport is broader than the kids he's playing with because he's been playing it since he's 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not genetics, because especially in football, because they're all pretty much the same size.
Same size, yeah.
You know what I mean? But now that kid at 8, when he gets to 9, 10, 11, the kid who just started at 8, compared to the kid that starts at 4, that gap closes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, okay, now he's played 2 years, even though this other kid plays 5, 2 years he's learning shit.
It's how fast they mature.
Yeah, and he's learning
mentally.
So then the gap closes, but now this kid is 6'2". You know what I mean? And the kid that's been playing forever is still 5'8".
5'8".
So now he got the genetics, plus he also got the knowledge a little bit more because he's been
And
playing.
the work ethic might be better at that point.
That changes the game. This is why you can't gas up these kids at 8 because that shit don't mean nothing until you're 18.
Nah, but not to cut you off, but you know what I mean. Another problem is, and I mean, I'm just gonna say it.
I know where he's going.
You might not. You might. You tell me. I mean, besides we have our organization, but how many guys in the Valley are coaching and helping the back end?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everyone wants to make a team of all-stars and take claim like I'm the dopest coach in the world. My man, you just took a bunch of 4-star kids and won a championship. Man, make the one. Take the 12 seasons, take the 1-star, make them a 4.
Those diamonds in the rough. Yeah.
It's funny.
No one's doing that.
JP, you brought that. I had a guy I coach with this year, and he actually asked me. He pulled me aside. He said, "Hey, I didn't know you treat everybody the same." He goes, "Would you rather take a developed kid or a raw kid?" And I said, "Well, there's two sides of that story. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The developed kid, you can teach things that you can't teach a raw kid.
Right.
But a raw kid, you can mold.
Right.
Yeah.
The developed kid could have bad habits.
Right.
Yeah.
That you got to change.
Right.
I tell you all the time because you know how many guys they glow on how dope of coaches they are.
Yep.
And my first question was, you know how I am. I tell them all the time, who'd you make better, dog? Because I mean, all I see is you coaching a bunch of studs.
Yep.
So you know what I mean. Remember the little Lincolns. Remember Lincoln?
Yeah.
Make Lincoln better, and then you a good coach. I'm gonna tip my hat off to you, man. Don't take a bunch of studs. And,
I'll take the challenge.
And not even
watch out for Brocco this year, fam.
But listen, also
watch out for
That's why I love what you're doing over there, Tony.
But the thing with Brocco too is like historically, yous haven't had good middle school football teams, right, for years. Mm-hmm. But a lot of those kids on that mediocre football team in middle school
have become the best players on the high school team.
And high school level. Right. Yeah, they're good. So
because people aren't investing in them, they're locked in with them now. You know,
it's also because them kids aren't running.
Yeah,
they're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're staying there.
They're staying there, and they're learning the game. They're taking it on the chin because they know when they get to that next level, the sides are going to flip. You know what I mean?
And one of the biggest problems that going on with Germ and JP are saying is the coaching culture has turned into being the best recruiter and not the best coach.
Coach, yeah,
that's what it is.
100.
You know why? Because now it's fucking cool, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm going to tell you exactly what you want to hear because I'm trying to win this now.
Social media.
But what I'm telling you now
Clout.
might not transfer to you being successful later on, but by the time you get there, you're going from me anyway, so I don't need you. That's the biggest problem, bro. You know
and that's bad. That's the bad part.
And then what happens is when they go to high school, all these bad habits, it's you guys, high school coach's job to fix it. If you want to.
Yep.
If you feel like it. If not, they're going to be sitting in the stands saying, damn, I should have been playing here, I should have been playing there. Or they're going to transfer and be somebody else's headache.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Well, John also brings up a good point there is guys that are lower on the totem pole in the coaching staff, those kids get pushed to those guys.
Yes.
Because the superstar coaches,
yes.
Oh, I don't got time for this. I got to come up with this, and this.
Right.
Nah, man, we all a coach here. Yep. Are you a coach or are you, what are you here? Yep. A coach is a leader. Yep. You know what I mean?
I tell kids in my position group, right, we do drills. All right, listen, man, you might be a little stiff in the hips, running back. If you want to stay after practice, we'll work on some drills to get you better. And kids either say, yeah or no. All right, cool, but I'm going to offer it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we got to be in the business of humbling kids, too, bro.
Oh, for sure.
Like, for instance, I just left the Liberty game. And, I know we're not supposed to say names, but I was just watching Jake and Blake. They're sophomores. Mm-hmm. Balling. They've been playing since freshmen. Balling.
Did they win today?
They lost in overtime. Dope ass.
Oh, word.
Yeah, Blake hit a 3 to tie that motherfucker. But when I had them, so they was running shit. Rodney, his nephew Rodney, all them was running shit for a while. Like, I'm talking about AAU everywhere.
Real quick, Coach Roosh finally got his W.
Shout out Coach Bruce too. That's my dog.
Coach
man.
Bruce.
We've been in wars. We've been in wars with.
He would be like, you always wear the 6X shit to practice. Like Parkland, I didn't have no gear yet, so I'm wearing my 6X hoodies, shit like that. And he just would always talk about freaking Jonathan. I could never beat him.
He's a special teams coach.
He would,
The tall cat.
Yeah, he would like he would always beat me. I could never beat him. He's like, even his last team, what Puck's in, Rodney, all them, his younger son played against them, and he just like, yo, I fucking, you giving me PTSD wearing all the 6X shit to practice.
But the thing is with them though is like, ask your nephew in practice. Every practice, we would like Leroy. Shout out to Leroy Johnson because Leroy's my assistant coach, and he was on board with all the. He's the unsung hero of a lot of the shit that he don't get credit for.
Yeah.
But like when we had Dion and all those guys, before practice for 30 minutes, we would talk to him about just like life.
Yep.
About like what it takes to be an athlete at the next level, like what you need to do now to prepare yourself for that.
Right.
And then, like I said, we'd have 2-hour practice. The first half hour would be that, then we'll practice. But they used to kill shit. So what we did, so they won the league 3 times in a row. So you know what I said? Listen,
that.
Summer League came up. So we used to play Winter League
And played up.
We played Winter League, AAU, and Summer League. They were killing their age group forever. I said, you know what, bro? You guys got to get humble because they was feeling themselves. I put them in the higher level of the bracket in Summer League. So now they went from playing like, it was like 10 and 11 to like 13, 14 they were playing.
Yeah.
That's when Jon Jon cut JJ.
Yeah. My bad, JP. My bad. But JP, you know this too, JP. Everybody was feeling them. Everybody was gassing them up. I put them in the 13 and 14 division, bro. We won 1 game that summer. Humbled the fuck out of them, bro.
Right.
But my plan is I'm trying to get you to play at that age level so you're comfortable with it because when you get to high school,
When
you
you
can play
get there,
early.
right, early,
You know what I
right.
mean?
You're going to be playing freshman.
Yes. So then what happened was when we went back to Winter League, I still had them play up, but it was a little lower. Like it was like 1 grade up rather than 2.
Yep.
They won that motherfucker, bro.
I remember that.
You know what I mean? Because they were so pissed off and bitter that they weren't as good as those guys that they played in the summer league.
Right.
And ever since then, they've been like accepting the challenge. So we ended up going to we played at Philadelphia U, and they played team final, which was like top 15 or something like that in the nation at the time. We lost, and shout out Chunk, Dion, Rodney, Marcus, all those guys who are actually at sophomore starting varsity right now.
Right.
These dudes were playing kids who were like nationally ranked, and we lost by like 4 in the chip. And this, I'm talking about like this shit was like packed, like we're in Philadelphia U, like the college, bro. This shit was like standing room only, bro. And they showed their ass, and when they left that gym, everybody knew what they were. So I can guarantee you, if there were recruiters, I don't know if there was or not, because they were young, but they were in tune of seeing what these guys can do, and
They made a name for themselves.
and the rest is they were humbled, so the rest speaks for itself. Because now when they step on the floor, they know I got a ball regardless of who I'm playing against. And as a coach, that's what you have to do with these kids. Winning a chip every year is cool, but they have to be able to accept adversity too. And you have to put them in positions to where they're not the best, where they're not the greatest. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you this: I got dudes and I'm not trying to brag, I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? But there's dudes, like I said, that are playing like all area teams as freshmen and sophomores. I ain't never posted a highlight video of them dudes ever in my life, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I let their work do the talking. I just put them on the platform to be able to do what they need to do. It's not about me. You know what I mean?
John got that right, because where he's going with what we see around here a lot is the humbling. What'd he do? He made the kids play up. That was real normal back when we were kids. Everybody played up. If you were good, you played up.
Right.
I brought up a good point today, and like we were talking, me and JP, we all know we were on a good staff 2 years ago with the youth, and a lot of those kids on that team are becoming stars. I mean, those kids are good from the Junior Hawks.
Right.
But we always reached out. It's the truth. We reached out to all the teams around the area to play. He knows we've reached out to play middle schools. They didn't want to play. But what you're not seeing is my beef is 10U, 12U, 13U. Cool. Cutoff is what, January 1st?
January 1st, yeah.
You got kids with birthdays January 8th.
Right.
Come on, man.
Super old.
Come on, man.
Right.
Bro,
when you good, you accept the challenge. You accept the challenge.
I just did that with my daughter. My daughter's 10. And in her winter league this year, she could have played down. dude, she's like twice the size of these kids, bro. So I could have went and had her play down there and score 50 points and had 1,000 videos and 1,000
Yep.
but I was like, she ain't getting nothing out of this shit, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
So she plays up. She's struggling. I'm gonna keep it honest. She's struggling, but it's going to, in the long run.
It's a
gonna
learning
make her
curve.
better.
It's a learning
You know
curve,
what I mean?
Right.
And it's only going to help her.
Because now she's playing with girls that if you can finally figure this shit out, you're going to be playing with them in high school.
Right.
And you're going to be the sophomore and they're going to be seniors. Or you're going to be the freshman, they're going to be juniors.
They're gonna remember.
That's where I was going because of playing up. When you hit 9th grade and you're good, you're playing 12th grade.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not.
But
let's talk about that. I feel like that's a new thing, man.
Yeah, so I'm
Ninth
glad
graders
you said
playing.
it. Listen.
8th graders playing freshmen. 9th graders playing varsity.
You had to be rare back when we
Son,
were.
you had
Yeah,
extremely
you had to be
rare. That
rare.
shit was unheard of.
Brandon
bro.
Mahalko was like
No,
one of the
8th graders playing freshmen. No one heard of that, bro.
I think
no
the
one
only
did
person that I remember that
no
played,
one ever did. I don't even think that was
Austin
allowed.
Chris. Austin Scott did.
The only
Austin Scott played freshman
Nick
football.
Pinchak
as far as
too.
basketball,
Freshman.
Yeah.
Man, we played them motherfuckers in my last year at the Saints in the championship. Austin Scott and Pinchak double rostered.
They're not even on the same. They're not even from the same youth team.
Huh?
They're not even from the same youth team.
Nah, they was up
One's
there.
from South Parkland.
North
one's from
Parkland.
North Parkland.
It was North Parkland.
Yeah,
the
you
North
played
Parkland
Pinchak.
was the
Pinchak
power.
was the greatest
Yeah,
youth player of all
and the Decker
time.
brothers
He
and
was
shit.
nice.
He was the
nice.
greatest youth player of all
Nah,
time. I beat him.
I'm going with
Some
Sip,
Steelers
though.
beat him.
I'm going with Sip. though.
No,
Sip was
y'all
nice.
did it.
Sip
Yeah,
was
we
nice.
did. We beat him in Nazareth.
Sip was one of the
7-0.
first freshmen that played varsity.
But even like in
Back
basketball,
then.
when I was younger, like my cousin Gary was the only one that ever played. He went to Richmond and played freshman as an 8th grader. But Gary was like
R.I.P.
6'5".
Is JP still on the line?
Yeah, he's listening.
JP, you there, JP?
John Paul, you there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I thought you sleep.
But nah, I'm
Nah,
gonna
I'm
Debo highlight.
keep it a bean with you though. The problem is that there's dudes. Like I said, it's the exaggeration of talent, right? So like, just because you don't play freshman as an 8th grader, or you don't play varsity as a freshman, that's nothing wrong with that, bro. Like I always use my cousin as an example. And I don't want to keep bringing him up, but this nigga played freshman as a freshman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And he ended up being an All-American in high college.
I feel like
You know
what
I
a
mean?
lot of parents and the Valley's doing is rushing the process.
Yes, because
Yes.
like, I always
You
say
know
like,
what I'm
yo,
saying?
a
rushing
lot.
the process.
It's
I think that's
guys,
the main thing.
it's social media, man.
Right.
They worried about the videos. I mean, you got all these guys out here taking pics. Come on, man.
and
Like,
they're trying to be like the next man. You know what I mean? If so-and-so did it, my son should be able to do the same thing. No, the circumstances are different. I always say this. A lot of these kids are playing freshmen now. I mean, playing varsity as freshmen because a talent pool and the two classes ahead of them are terrible.
terrible.
So you're not playing it because you're super nice. It's because the dudes in front of you aren't that good either. You feel what I'm saying?
It's like what we talk about draft. Every draft class ain't good.
Right. Right.
It's not good.
You know what I mean? You have to keep it real. You have to keep it honest. You know what I mean? Like, and you know what else that kills me too is how many of these youngins now, parents, I mean, are saying my kid's top 5. My kid's and you can't name the rest of the 4 in the top 5.
In the top 5.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on,
They
bro.
love that.
You know what I mean? That's what kills me.
My kid's top 2 and he ain't 2.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But who's the other 4 that you're comparing them
Yeah,
to?
like,
Right.
You know what I mean?
100%.
What is the standard to compare?
Right.
What do you think is great? Because the kid goes out there, say football, he rushes. I don't know. He rushes for 150 yards, but you're not going to tell us he carried the ball 50 times.
Yes.
And averaged 3 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not going to tell us that.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to tell us if the kid rushed for 200 yards on 5 carries, how great the offensive line was blocking.
Or how bad the team
How
was
bad
that
the
they
team
played.
was playing, yes.
We were playing St. John's School of the Blind.
Or how
No.
you faked the injury twice in the game.
Yeah, like that's not.
There's so much other.
and that's one thing I can say about JP on the line. What I like about JP, and this is why I'll do anything for him and help him with his son, is JP does never duck smoke.
Yeah.
Wherever
There's a lot of that going on.
there's a lot going on. JP,
Yeah.
like he said, could have easily took his son out, but he didn't.
And a lot of that duck and smoke is going to a super team.
Correct.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, a lot of and like a shout out to the coaches though, because the same way you make a super team is because you're a good coach. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Correct.
A lot of them are
Right.
going to these good coaches
Yeah.
because you know what I mean.
And these other schools, they got to stop losing talent.
yeah, you got to step
You know
the
what I'm
game up.
saying?
You
You
gotta learn
can't
how to
fucking
retain
lose
them.
talent, right?
Yeah.
You got a good kid there. You got a good talent there. You got to keep him.
Yo,
you got to
Tone,
keep him.
Sully Mars watching, so that means you got to go home soon. shout out Sully. Shout out Sully.
The boss of the Davis family.
I just see her pop on like, yeah, Tone. She making sure Tone at the podcast.
What's up,
yeah.
babe? Shout out, wifey, man.
Hey.
I thought she was asleep.
Nah, she ain't
Let's-
sleep, nigga. She rolled
I'll
over
be
to see
home
you wasn't
soon.
home.
Wake up.
We bring up a topic here quick before we get off this.
We've been here.
This
for
is
a
with me
minute.
and Chris. We've been around a sport a while. It's very rare you see kids from this area go Ivy League.
Right.
Everybody talks this. Everybody talks that. Last year, Freedom, the Johnson brothers, Harvard, Callahan before that.
Yo, shout out!
Harvard.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you a story though. So their mother, their adopted mom, she was my professor when I was in college. She's one of the dopest people ever. I met her when she first adopted these boys, so she used to always bring them to like the stuff that Lehigh, like all the like the classes or like the programs that they have up there, and they were like involved in Ivy League stuff as youngins. Like you knew this, like it wasn't a surprise when I seen them pick where they picked to go.
Right.
Nope. Right. Like she literally groomed them the right way. That this sports stuff is going to be there, but I'm going to groom you to wherever you're going to go to school. You're going to be set for life.
For life.
That's where I'd like to go.
They could. They could stop playing football today, and they're good.
And they're good.
You know what I mean? Right. And the crazy part about it is, she's a professor. Like she's up there. She makes bread. You know what I mean? They were good regardless if they didn't even go to school. She was going to make sure they're good, but she made them create their own lane.
On their own lane.
You know what I mean? As a person, not as an athlete, as a person. And that's so. Shout out to Miss Johnson because she did her thing.
That's the second person I've heard say that, because he's a fellow coach around here, Matt Cohen. He was playing at Lehigh at the time, and he spoke the same high. He said, hey, those kids were always around. But where I'm going with this, with the set for life, is we have two kids from this area. All you want to hear is Power 5. You got a kid at Parkland. You got a kid coming from Central Catholic, both graduating this year.
Shout out Nas.
Yeah, he was with me today in the gym, Nas McLean and Connor Johns. One's going to Penn, one's going to Brown.
Right.
Now, that's Ivy League, man. Like, that's top of the top. Ivy League is not USA. Right. Ivy League is worldwide.
Best of the best.
And the thing with Connor, he got into the #1 business school.
Yeah, the Wharton School of Business.
Yeah, that's like Donald Trump went there. It's like the biggest.
You send your kid to Alabama, they're going to take basket weaving as a class and shit.
Pool cleaning.
Yo, remember in Blue Chips when he was like, what are you taking, man? He said, I'm taking TV.
But that's the thing is, like John said, like, these kids are going to come out. And I didn't really get this lesson until this year when I did my homework, is these kids are set for life. Yeah. They could even get drafted because it's like me and Nas at the convo. D1 is D1, coach.
Yes,
You're right.
Yes,
D2 is D2, D3 is D3.
Right.
The kid understands there is going to be life after football. One of the best kids, and I'm sure Chris could say the same thing about Connor, but I don't know if Chris also knows that Coach Roosh, he went to Penn as well.
Yes,
he is a Penn grad.
Did.
So when you have good people leading good people around here and preaching hey, everybody, like John, we say it, you might not be Alabama. You might not be, lower D1, Kent State, MAC Conference.
Right.
But if you can land somewhere in the Patriot League, the Ivy League, you are going to get a degree that you can take anywhere.
Right.
And guess what? You're going to make more money over and over and over. And guess what? Your body ain't going to be beat up.
Right.
And you're going to be able to pass that on, hopefully, when you do, coach, of preaching how academics got me to where I was, and I used football or basketball or soccer, whatever the hell you play, as a tool.
It's creating the blueprint.
Correct.
It's really. And
hey, Jerm.
Go ahead,
Jippy.
So you don't remember? I told you UPenn was one of the schools that we talked to.
Yeah. Yep.
The first thing before we even they saw you, obviously they saw the highlight film, and the first thing coach said, "Yo, what's his GPA?"
Yeah.
You talking about JJ?
I'm getting off the live. My phone's gonna die.
He getting the Penn attention?
Yeah. They asked. I sent him over the transcripts and everything.
Damn, JP, he must got his brains from his mom, fam. Shout out Kristen, because I know he ain't get that UPenn from you, dog.
Yeah, listen, he's a sophomore with a 4.2 GPA with 6 college credits.
That's the shit that should get highlighted.
It's crazy because it skipped JP, like his mom runs Lincoln. JP, the second in charge over there, and then you got JJ, the real man in charge. So.
Right. Nah,
but you know what it is?
Shout out JJ though, bro.
I appreciate it, but I don't say much because the first time I said something to someone about the first school that gave him like an official offer, they were like, it was University of Fort Lauderdale. Coach loved this film.
We talked about this.
Said, full ride, full education, full dorms. Yo, we got him. You know, I mean, we're real small, so he might not want to. You know, we're D1 NA, whatever it is. Might find it bigger, but the offer's there. I was like, gassed. I was like, oh, what my son did. First person I told, oh, that's a small school. Like,
so
you know,
what? So fucking what, bro?
That was me, you ding dong. I never heard of him.
At the end,
But that was after 6 beers at Mock Scoot.
listen, I'm gonna tell you this. Number one,
That was the night Parkland was playing Nazareth. You
I
came
got
with
you.
Fred. I was drinking.
but
I said, who the hell is Lauderdale?
Yo, that's one thing with Jeremy Makos. He's always going to keep it real. So.
Right. But the number one thing is first, it's going to save you $250,000 from not paying for college. And number two is if he goes there and becomes a doctor, it doesn't matter whether he's a doctor from Fort Lauderdale. It doesn't matter he's a doctor from fucking Harvard. He's a fucking doctor.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
So and he's 15, son. It's just, you know what I mean? It's the first official one. It was great.
It's motivation. It's motivation.
He's true 15. You know what I mean? Like we got all this reclassing going on.
Yeah. Right.
Come on, man. It's like my boy Komets, man. The guy was 19 going on 20, graduating high school. Like, I just turned 17. I bust on him and he just turned 40. Chris is up there too.
Yeah, Chris is up there. Son.
I graduated high school at 17.
Chris was one of the first reclasses.
He came over there on that boat. Ain't no telling how long. How old is Mexican?
Coach Wells got you 4 years.
I was 18.
Chris did 5 years.
I was 18 during the high school season, my senior year.
We don't even know how old Chris was when he came into the country.
He was 19 the second day of school.
Hey, yo, listen. That explains it, son. This nigga was 21. No wonder where he was getting the beers from and shit. Yo, high school years.
It's crazy.
He drove the 4-door Cavalier. Drove that shit over the
going right over there to Park Ridge, son.
Yo, listen. I used to get served beer at 16
everywhere
at Woody's on Hanover Ave.
Y'all snitching now, huh? Y'all telling me.
They closed down long ago.
Statute of limitations.
But seriously,
we gotta edit that out the podcast.
That is a true thing because the reclass thing has really. Come on, man! Like you can get I know some states that, like I believe it's Maryland. You can't. It is what it is.
We had a good conversation about this. So me and Jen were talking about it, and Nuna's like, "Oh, reclass Rodney." I said, "No, let him play." The only time I recommend you to reclass a kid is if he's going to go to a prep school where they're going to be like, hey, listen, he could do his senior year all over again, and you're going to go to this prep school, then hence you're going to go to college. But to do it now, like...
I mean,
I don't know, man. I'm
going to be honest with you. Like, I used to be totally against it, but I think it's situationally based.
Right.
Like, it's what's good for the kid.
Maturity levels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm a big proponent of the prep school route, like the extra year rather than holding back. And honestly, nowadays, like the top dogs, they're reclassing up.
Yeah,
they're trying to get to college as soon as possible. They can get paid.
Correct.
Like Cooper Flagg right now, who's the number 1 ranked player.
He came a year ahead.
He's supposed to be a junior. He's a senior, and he's still the number 1 ranked player in the thing. He's going to be the top pick next year.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was always a proponent of like, if you reclassing or if you going prep takes you from being top 200, 250 to top 50, I'm a proponent of that.
Yeah.
But you have to look at, like, sometimes that shit doesn't work.
No.
You know what I mean? So now you're just a big dumb kid in the younger grade. You feel what I'm saying? And like what you have to do too is you have to realize like what kind of kid you have, because even though he's reclassing for sports, all his homies is in the grade ahead of him.
Yep.
So now, what does that build with his confidence? And what happens if this shit don't work?
And it don't
You
work,
feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So now he just did an extra grade of school for nothing. You know what I mean? So it's situationally based, but it does work though. I'm like, it does. The final end sometimes gets these kids to where they need to be, but a lot of times it doesn't work.
Nah, I always thought about it with JJ, and after COVID, remember like at COVID you were allowed to do it that 1 year. I asked him, because he's young. He should be a freshman.
Right.
But he's a sophomore. And I asked him, I said, yo, do you want to sit back a year? And he said no. And you know what I mean? You know, that's 2 years ago. Right. But now I look at it like, damn, this kid just finished being a varsity linebacker. If he was a freshman, imagine how he would still have 3 more years. You know what I mean?
But there's
So,
a
you
lot
know, in that aspect-
there's also a lot of what ifs in that.
Right. A lot of things could have been different.
You know what I mean? And you brought up the key word there. I mean, nothing's been the same since the COVID. That's when really everybody started moving things around. And, that's what's really messed it up for high school kids because now I just seen the Miami tight end. He's in his ninth. He got his ninth year.
I see that.
J.J. Watt just brought that up. J.J. Watt said, what happened to kids playing 4 years in college? And that's why these high school kids.
That's a grown man hitting on little kids. And shit.
He was 20.
That's crazy.
Wasn't like Tyler Hansbrough like 26 when he got drafted?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I just remember back in the day, if you guys remember, like Chris Winkie, that was like a different story. Dude was 28.
He was old as shit.
And then we had the cat from out here, went to South Carolina because he was in the military.
Like 40,
But it's a different situation. But that's the truth, man. And the high school kids are getting slighted now all because of this. They're losing opportunities because of the portal and because you're getting 17 years. Right. You get a gray shirt, a red shirt, a blue shirt. But that's why I say everybody got to support.
I think Jerm said earlier when you guys were talking to the podcast, when I talked to the Temple coach, you know what I mean? The Temple coach, literally, he told me, he said, yo, I love his film. We're going to invite him out for a camp this summer so we can get eyes on him. We'll put him on our board. But he said, listen, we're not looking for high school kids.
Nope.
He said we're strictly right now. We filled the couple spots we have. He said, we're looking for JUCOs and transfers and prep school kids.
Right.
He said, prep school kids, JUCO, that's what we're looking for.
Well, Coach Mons told us that night when we were over there. Coach Mons told us that.
And that's the thing, too, right? Like I said, with the prep school, that's what they're doing with kids. They're going to take them, they're going to reclass them,
right?
Do senior year
There's
over
nothing wrong
again.
with that, though.
But it's for a college purpose, right? Yeah. And they're getting 9 times out of 10 when you go to this prep school, you already have your school's already lined up.
Yeah, the school's paying
go
for you
to this prep academy school for another year, 5th year, right? High school. You're 1 more year mature, and then you come to us a year older, a year more mature, And
a lot of times it's not even the fact of that they need you to get better. They just need to get rid of that class that's in school now.
They're making room. They're making room and letting you mature. Yep.
I was telling, I try to tell the kids when they go on these visits, man, you play a position. First thing you go on the visit, ask the coach
who's there.
Yeah, how many? Okay, well, I'm a linebacker. I'm an outside line. How many outside linebackers you got? What are the classes? When are they? How many are you recruiting? Normally, most are up front, but you have the guys that
the dirty guys.
Yeah, the dirty guys. Like, let's be honest here, man. Like what Reggie Bush, I believe it was him that said, Nick Saban. You can't stash them 5-star running backs no more.
Right.
You can't stash them no more.
Go somewhere else. So, which is why Katz is retiring.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a level
playing field. You can't stash them no more.
Right.
All right, JP, listen, my phone's about to die, so we're going to have to end it.
All right, gentlemen. Been a pleasure.
My man, appreciate you.
All right, John. Appreciate you, kid.
Oh, hey, real quick. Hey, Tone.
What up?
I ain't like how you let Matt talk about me in that live, dog.
Who did?
Oh, bro.
Brogan.
Listen,
bro.
yo, JP, listen, bro. If it's not on wax,
trying to get
it don't
you on
matter,
there,
son. If it was alive, it's not on wax, brother. We only respect the podcast recordings.
Yo, I didn't even know what happened. So Larry had to tell me. Larry had to tell me yesterday to look at it.
Yo,
I looked at it.
Yo, JP, he tried to bomb on your man Cedric too, son. He was going hard on Cedric on that shit.
Yo,
bro.
Tune in tomorrow night. We're gonna do our second podcast for the games this week.
JP,
so
I'd like
we'll
to
call you back.
I don't want to bother you tomorrow because I know you'll be on your flight to out to San Fran to go to the game.
Oh, you going to the game, Jay? Okay.
No, I'm not going, son. I can't afford that, bro.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. You know?
Jerm just said I got 3 kids to come.
All right, brother. Good night.
All right, gentlemen. All right, peace.
All right, bro. Well, this is going to be wrapping it up. Tonight's edition of High School. We had some good people calling in, some good conversations.
Great conversations, man. Like I said in the beginning, shout out to all the kids doing what they got to do. The kids in high school right now putting in hella work. They doing their thing. They grinding. Shout out to them. Shout out to the parents. Shout out to the coaches, getting it done.
I just had somebody text me and they're listening to the podcast. They said, fuck Penn and the Ivies if you don't have someone telling you the majors needed to take advantage of it. Advise them on more than just sports.
Yeah.
Good point.
Right.
Good point.
Right.
Good point.
All right. Education's free. He said, "Fuck the Ivy League, though."
No, they said a lot of kids go Ivy League, and they're not told of what majors to take there.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like you can go to an
Right.
Ivy League and take the wrong shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you
Do
can
it at any school.
And then you go to get a job, and they say I went to Harvard, but what'd you take at Harvard?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily just because you graduate from Harvard that you're going to get that.
Well, I thought
Yeah.
we just brought that up when he's going for business.
Right.
Right.
But the person that texted me was like 20 minutes ago. I just seen it right now. So.
Okay. But yeah, shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody that came on, said they piece. Great conversation.
Next time,
This was dope. This was dope.
We got to
This
get
was
Coach
dope.
Street on here, bro. We gotta
Yo, Bebe's tight. We ain't put him in.
Yeah, but yo, my bad, bro. We're gonna get you. You and Nolan on the line.
I was just reading the comments. He's tight.
He said when we called JP, he said, "Yo, I was next in line." Yo, Bebe, my bad, bro. We get you on next time. Listen, everybody, thank you for tuning in. God bless. Good night.
It's only entertainment.